glorious Sunday afternoon in the Deep South. Teretonga Park Raceway all set to go for round 2 of the D1NZ National Championship and the Pro Division. Rain that was forecast to come around 1 o'clock this afternoon hasn't even appeared. There were a little shower or two, more of a sun shower, but it's been blown away by a very strong breeze that is brushing across Teretonga Park Raceway and plenty of cumulus cloud, if you want to sound like you're a weather presenter, which we are not. Hello folks, welcome to the Riviera of the South. Stephen McIvor, Joel Maulder here for round 2. Round 1 yesterday in Pro, won by Dave Stephen. We'll talk to him in just a moment. We've got to talk about pro sport. It's really part of the narrative this weekend. And young Riley McEwen, P2 yesterday. If we take another step back, last year, scholarship, P1 today against Blake Miles, a replay of yesterday's final.
He's been absolutely on form, and I really think that during the off-season maybe he's been all over that sim, because after maybe some mechanical issues he was chasing last year, he's really had a chance to shine this year.
We talk a lot of words about consistency with Blake Miles, but when you took a look at Riley, he had a little ups and downs, but the consistency of performance, does that surprise you from one so young?
It does, yeah. He's sort of been a set and forget, where he's not worried about what the other car is doing, and maybe that's just caught Blake out. He said he was having some issues on his chase, and he just wasn't as consistent.
You've judged drifting. You've done plenty of judging. When you look at him in a chase, and you have to be bold in a chase, don't you? Particularly if you've done a good lead. Does it surprise you that he's actually quite almost fearless?
Yeah, he's just got nothing to hold back, and he doesn't seem to be hesitating. So it's really proving his point that he's going to take a fight this year.
The people of Southland here have really turned up this weekend for this opening round, double round of D1NZ, the National Drifting Championship, which this year has been accredited by Motorsport New Zealand and the FIA accreditation, which is a magnificent thing to happen. We are also a little bit excited because we're coming to the end of the round, right? It's crazy where it's gone. But round 3, Pukekohe is back, the final drift. Yeah, people thought, Pukekohe's done. No, it's not. D1NZ have done their damnedest, and we are going to be bringing on the final drift on it's Valentine's Day weekend next year. I can't stop thinking about it. I think I'm going to have to try and get a ride with Dave Stephen or somebody to take me through that corner at 200 clicks, because that's something to experience, isn't it?
It is. Now, it's actually been a couple of years since we were there last, and the evolution of the cars, is it going to be even faster?
I think I asked you this yesterday. Have you done that corner? Have you been in that corner in a seat or driven it? You haven't driven it. Have you been in a passenger seat and done it?
I have, yes.
What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah. It's wild. There's nothing you can do. You just they set it and you just hold on. It's amazing.
All right, in 2025, 2026, D1NZ have made some changes. A couple of key changes and some just little updates. So here's a reminder of what's going on in the D1NZ brand new season.
The 2025-2026 season is here, and we are ready to battle for the D1NZ New Zealand Drifting Championship. This is your competition format for the weekend. There are some big rule changes again this year. Line, angle and style are the scoring criteria which contribute to a qualifying score out of 100. There is a new points weighting system in place for 2026. Line now making up 60% of the total score, with both angle and style now making up 20% each. After qualifying, the drivers are then set into a seeded battle tree. Each driver has a turn at leading and chasing during the battles, aiming to set or better their qualifying performance. The big rule change for 26 will see the higher qualifier get lane choice on the start line, choosing to either lead or chase first during the battle phase. The tandem scores are marked against each of the drivers' lead and chase runs, comparing lead for lead, chase for chase, culminating to a win, lose or sudden death OMT to find the winner. And that is your format for the 2026 D1NZ New Zealand Drift Championship, live this weekend from Teretonga Park Raceway.
Well, the other part of the change, of course, is the judging panel. We've already spoken to Darren Kelly, four-time Drift King, before. He thought he'd give the 2/3 of the panel another chance to have a bit of a gibber. Taylor James, you're normally out there thrashing your car out. How hard is it to go from the cockpit into now having to decide the fate of drivers?
Yeah, it's definitely different, and especially at a track like this, it's full commitment and a lot of pace. Those are the sort of tracks I like, but it is good being on the other side. Yeah, bit of a change for sure, but no, it's good.
Well, Andrew Redwood also joins the judging panel. Now, he did a couple of years ago, but he's back again. But before that, of course, he was a driver, the angle king you are known as. It's a bit hard out there to get as much angle, so what are you concentrating on looking for the drivers this weekend?
Really just looking for consistency. The tracks that we designed are quite challenging, but when you get them right, they flow nicely. So it's that person that can figure it out, do what we're asking, and they'll get through.
So you set up a track, right, you guys, and the most important thing is you want driver feedback. What feedback have you had in the last 24 hours about the first run, and now we're running in the reverse direction?
Yeah, that's right. Mixed reviews, I guess. You know, like the track, the normal direction is the way it was done previously, with a few changes here and there. But the track reverse, a lot of people are starting to like it. I think it's a bit to get used to because it's new to everyone. But we are asking quite a tricky section, I guess. But yeah, they're slowly getting used to it, and yeah, everyone seems to be liking it more and more.
Well, the grip level is obviously quite different between the Pro Sport cars and the Pro. We've seen the Pro Sports this morning, but for those who may have not seen that, what difference are you going to see with the Pros versus what we've already seen this morning?
Well, obviously speed, and we noticed in the practice sessions this morning the pros were definitely able to get to certain zones better than the Pro Sports. So like the outside zone 3, they're coming through there and just staying on throttle and getting through to the finish line, where the Pro Sports are making a lot more adjustments because they have a smaller tire, not the grip level that the pros do. So I think we'll see some really great battles, tight tandem.
The one thing that's been impressive, we're going to blow smoke in your way, and it's all good smoke, right? The judging panel. You're not mucking around. You're making decisions. We've only had a couple of OMTs, thank God. What is changing? Is it an attitude from the judging panel just to get on with it, or what?
Yeah, that's it. Obviously we're taking our time to review what we need to review, but some of the battles today have been pretty clear cut, which would speed stuff up. There's some stuff we have to review, obviously, but yeah, just trying to keep things moving and yeah, keep an eye on what we need to.
Not many appeals, just a couple of appeals maybe so far in the last 24.
We had pretty good chats before the season started, and just made sure we're all on the same page with what we want and what we want to see out there. And so it's just gelling well. And then I think we only had 2 battles all of yesterday where we actually had a different decision from each other. I think there was one where I went one way and they went another, and then another one where we're all split, one driver A, one driver B, and one OMT. So out of all the battles yesterday, there was only 2 that went different ways.
So philosophy is let's just get on with it and see some nice, clean battles. Simple as that?
That's right, yeah.
Alrighty, just a reminder too, the Logitech Ambassador is the other job. That's Darren Kelly. Don't forget, come January, you can start applying for the D1NZ Logitech Virtual Drift Competition. How cool is that? D1NZ.com, Australia and New Zealand. The winner of that, how cool is this? 2027, you get to drive, we'll give you a car, and Pro Sport. That's all in the future. Right now, we've got to get busy with round number 2 of the Pro section in D1NZ. Here's the track they got to run.
Well, it is time for the opening round of the D1NZ New Zealand Drifting Championship, and after nearly 6 years away, our Motorsport Roadshow makes a big return to the Deep South in Invercargill, hosting round 1 and round 2 of the series with a massive double-header weekend. Invercargill, of course, is where the legend of Burt Munro began, with motorcycles and motor racing history making up a big part of the local scene, with plenty of tourist opportunity in the central city and out abroad to Stewart Island, and some epic Deep South New Zealand scenery. Teretonga Park is home to the Southland Sports Car Club, who are hosting us this weekend on the FIA Grade 3 circuit, just over 2.6 kilometres long, with our round 2 drift section starting from the end of turn 5, a rolling start through an initiation chicane, firing into a full throttle flick onto the right hand side of the track into the first outside zone. This reverse layout flows a lot differently, with a lot more throttle modulation needed through the midsection heading into outside zone 2 and OZ3, just 4 outside zones in this layout. Time now for the Logitech Virtual Track Rundown, carrying some speed out of the first corner and flicking out towards the first zone on the right hand side, powering through to outside zone 2 with max points available within 1 to 1.5 metres of the track edge. Keep an eye on the lead car here through outside zone 3. There will be penalties for leaving the zone 2 early and shutting the chase car out during the tandem battles. Our judging officials this weekend are all former drivers, some of the heavyweight names of New Zealand drifting in the last decade. 4-time D1NZ champ Darren Kelly is back alongside Taylor James. Series veteran Andrew Redwood is also back in the judging seat with Joel Counter keeping an eye on competition as our driving standards observer and review judge for 2026. Our penalties for this event have the usual suspects: wheel off track, always one to watch for. Straight lining the car will be a crucial one here on this fast layout. Excessive left foot braking will be another big one. You can use the left foot to settle the car with little dabs, but just using too much of it and slowing the car up will hand you a much bigger penalty over the guys who can stick it to the section at full throttle.
So that is what the drivers and the judges have to deal with. One driver that started the season with 100% is Dave Stephen, won the round one of the pro section yesterday. Has it sunk in that your start's been a perfect start to the new season?
Honestly, it really hasn't, because some of the laps that I did yesterday, I really wasn't gelling with the track and that, but I guess I had the least mistakes of everyone, so it really hasn't sunk in at all.
Can I just say I think you're a malcontent? Because I don't think you'll ever be happy with what you're driving.
Oh, sometimes you have an awesome round and you really nail the section and you feel really good about it. It just didn't really happen yesterday, but hey, we'll take the W.
We were talking about how the track's changed, obviously, direction from yesterday and today. How were you feeling about the reverse section?
It actually flows really cool. Once you get what the judges are asking for, it actually flows really nicely. You can really send it into the first switch with a lot of commitment, and when you get it right, it feels really good.
Yeah, but how about that chase? If you're the chase, they're saying you've got to be on it when you're the chaser, because if you're not, you're going to get left behind.
That's definitely going to be the make or break. Trying to stay on them from the get-go and not getting lost in the smoke. That's always the tricky part.
Mate, we're not too far away from getting these pro battles underway. Riley McKeown's been the standout, apart from Blake Miles, but this is a kid, right? Scholarship last year, P2, P1. What have you seen that you like?
Oh, it's consistency. We've watched most of his battles in the pro sport today, and it's just consistent, and he's getting that line that the judges are asking for. He's got a beautiful rotary in there. If it's a rotary or an RB, you're on for something good.
Okay, one final thought. Can you go back to back?
Let's try, eh?
I don't think I'm getting a real straight answer out of you ever. Hey, congratulations, by the way, on the round win, and thanks for being a part of D1NZ, because you are part of the fabric, and we love the show you put on. It is called The Smoke Show. It's round 2 of D1NZ, the National Drifting Championship, live here from sunshine, a bit of wind, and plenty of cloud at Teretonga Park Raceway. Let's go racing with Keisuke Nagashima and Warren Sare. Hi, lads.
Good afternoon, Stephen McIvor. Good afternoon, Joe, and good afternoon to all of our spectators out there on Sky TV, Oversteer TV, KO, and Pacific Direct. My name is Warren Sare, been calling drifting action here in New Zealand for a little while, and joining me, the man they call the 205 King, Keisuke Nagashima, our former pro sport champion. Welcome to the broadcast, my friend. Plenty going on.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Obviously, the pro sport boys put on a big show today in the reverse layout, and we're looking forward to seeing what the pros do.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting afternoon, and I was just looking through the battle tree, and there are, oddly enough, after the results basically were based on yesterday's battle tree, there are 5 battles that repeat from yesterday where the same opponents go head-to-head in the first round. So it's quite interesting the way that things work out here in the sport of drifting, as different results fall the way that they do, and looking forward to seeing some pretty spectacular action this afternoon. We've seen some very interesting and perhaps controversial calls in the pro sports this morning, but the judge has been very definitive in the way that they have made their calls, and then also in explaining their calls. So look, I think you might not agree in the moment, but I think after you're given a chance to maybe go back, review that footage, I don't think there'll be anything that really sits too badly with people. Look, everyone here is a competitor and they want to win, but sometimes things just don't go your way.
100%, and that's part of the drifting D1NZ side of things with competition. It is a bit of luck, a lot of consistency, and understanding how the rules work and everything else. So it's really good to see all the guys, try and get the teams up to scratch, all the judges understanding what the team's trying to say, but also it goes both ways, right?
Yeah, it certainly does. So we have our first drivers looking like they're staged and ready to scrub. It will be our first look at Weretha Kake for the weekend. Weretha normally behind the wheel of the H Blackbee sponsored S13, but I think that's the Sean Pottrell's car, I think he's jumped into for the battle against Adam Davies, and well, that's not an easy way to kick off your D1NZ Pro campaign for a first attempt at battles, is it?
100%.
No.
I mean, obviously we haven't seen what it's in the Pro Series before, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes with Adam Davies in his 180SX.
Yeah, under the tuition and guidance, so to speak, of Sean Pottrell, who we do know is renowned for wild and aggressive driving. Sort of seen as one of the most unpredictable drivers to battle, because you just don't know what sort of wild, crazy angle he's going to throw at stuff. So I'd expect Witter to hold his own. And look, and Adam Davies, I don't know what you say about Adam. He's always there or thereabouts, but just every now and then, if something will go wrong, it'll go wrong for Adam. Right?
100%. I mean, he's had a lot of issues. He was saying yesterday with his intake and bits and pieces with the 20B. I think he's got it sorted now. He did go back to a simpler setup with a stock intake system, which has helped with his response, and just, you know, the roadies are very, very hard to actually manage, especially in a drifting scenario with not a mounted torque as, for example, an RB or a 2JZ, but obviously all the revs to the moon, and the sound. It's a beautiful sound coming out of that 20B.
They call her Karen because she's high-strung and she's grumpy. So that is the name the team gave the car, by the way. We didn't christen it that. That is what Adam and the team call it. So it is Mimico on one side and Hydrolink on the other. And on the roof there, More Pork Barbecue, which is actually Adam's brother Clint up there in Auckland. That's the link there. And shout out to them. No doubt they'll be tuned in. Make a tasty, pretty tasty pie.
They put on a very good feed, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
It's a long way from your place, though, mate.
I used to be a local.
That's right, when you were Mike Thorley's neighbour. But we don't need to delve into that. We'll talk about that later when Mike shows his face. So, as the higher qualifier, Adam Davies is entitled to choose what he wants to do here. And has he chosen to chase? He has. Yeah, because he's on the inside. So that's very different. I wonder if. So Weta Takake initiates, knocks over a cone, so there's an immediate deduction there for Weta. We wondered how aggressive he was going to be, and the answer is plenty aggressive there. And Adam Davies going to, he's come up short.
He's come off.
Adam, you can't buy a trick. And then he's understeered out through the section. Yes. He just can't buy a trick. He's just...
I'm actually quite impressed with what it's his run, the lead run, other than the cone coming off at the start line there as we watch the GT radial replay.
So that is the only question, is has that impacted on Adam and where he's been positioned?
Yeah, I don't think so, because he does very well here coming into outer zone 2 as Adam, I think he has a bit of a bobble there, and he just misjudges that switch coming back onto outer zone 3 and 4 there, whereas Ryder actually does very well to stay out wide and go across the finish line there. So
so you're here as our technical expert. Now tell me if I'm wrong, but when I look at that there, what it looks like to me is he gave it a dab on the left foot brake, because you saw the front wheel stop moving as well, and it pulled the car back around, then he almost had another go at it. You'll see it here, see just the dab of the front brake, and it's caused it to waver and straighten up, and that's where it's transitioned back, flicked back the other way, and he's lost in the smoke and just come up short on the inside.
100%, and with that corner there, it's actually a banked corner, so when you do go offline, it does tend to suck you back into the inside clip.
Health and safety precautions there. If you've got a tent or an easy up, please make sure it's weighed down, because otherwise it's likely to become an umbrella or, sorry, not an umbrella, what am I talking about? A hot air balloon. Yeah, a kite.
A kite.
Kite is the word I was looking for there, getting confused. Been a bit of a day. This is day 3 for us on commentary. So we started here on Friday with qualifying for the pro sports and the pros. We've had 2 rounds of pro sport completed, with Blake Miles and Riley McEwen getting 1 victory each, and we're now into round 2 for the pros. Now it's going to be interesting to see how Weta Takake approaches his first chase. If he's from the Potros school of driving, then chances are right on the rear quarter.
It's going to be quite aggressive, yes, 100%, as Adam Davies comes around to the first initiation point. As he comes around and comes into the first outer zone.
He has given Adam too much space, and he should be a lot closer.
Yeah, Adam's done very well to go into outer zone 2 there. What is trying to keep up with him, and he's a bit lost in the smoke. He's done exactly the same thing as Adam in the first run there, whereas Adam comes around and finishes the lap there. So yeah, I mean both runs having some mistakes. Let's see how the judges call that.
Do you know what's interesting about that is that probably leads me to think that it's going to be 0-0 chases, therefore it's going to go lead for lead. We talked about Adam couldn't buy a trick, but Weta Takake knocked over a cone coming out of the start chicane.
True.
So there's a deduction there that's very clear in the rules that if you hit the start cone, there is a deduction. So while it might seem a harsh learning curve, it would not surprise me to potentially see a call made here on lead for lead, in which case I think you would possibly say that based on that deduction alone.
But also, in Adam's chase, he actually completed the run. Yes, he was offline.
But he understeered straight ahead before the end of the section, didn't he?
True.
So I think we'll be going to a single run, and we will have the ability to talk to judges if we need to. However, you were pretty good yesterday at just jumping on the old text machine and conversing with head judge Darren Kelly, and just got us those little sound bites that we needed just to explain things, which is always...
Yeah, I think the judges are kind of looking at the DSO system, review system now, just to make sure that they are understanding all the ins and outs of what's actually happened throughout those runs there. So as we kind of try and speak them out, they do have a better understanding of what they need to make a call on and how the result will turn out.
Take another look at the GT Radio replay. So out of the Link ECU start box they came. As we look at the side-by-side shot of the judges deliberating there with the 10 Tools Dragon looking over their shoulders. And it does look like Darren Kelly just having some technical challenges there with locking in a result. So the judges can only lock in A, B or OMT. There is no other options available to them. And it does look like we've got a result. Stephen McIvor, conductor of ceremonies.
He might turn into a kite too at that point.
I think that's how he's getting home. If he keeps flapping and the wind's this strong. Adam Davies gets the call, unanimous.
Where does Akaki? We're going to talk to you. First of all, nice lead run, mate. What happened to the chase?
I just got left behind in the smoke a little bit, and then, yeah, that was it, really. Just got lost in the smoke, had switched a bit late. I switched a bit early, sorry, and then, yeah, that was it.
Hey, just quickly, you're behind round 4. We're going to Gizzy for the first time. Pretty excited about that one. How excited are you?
Nah, I'm pretty excited, stoked for our locals to bring something down like that into our region. I reckon it's amazing, and yeah, looking forward to it.
What sort of track? Are you going to tell us what sort of track we're going to get?
I don't know if I can say that. Yeah.
Hey, good to see you, and we'll see you in round 4. Oh, we'll see you at Bookie.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, see you there, man. There you go. Where's Akaki, the man behind Gisborne, round 4. Cannot wait.
Thank you to Widdit and the team also from H. Blackbee Contractors. H. Blackbee Drift Park is the official name of the venue we are going to for round number 4 of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. And there's a few exciting things planned for that round. Hearing some very strong rumours potentially of a Yeah the Girls activation. We expect that there will be some returning drivers, of course, because that round doesn't fall under the current rule where drivers had to enter round 1 and 2 in order to be able to do Pukekohe round number 3. As we take a look at David Hunter in competition, did we see him yesterday or no? I think he withdrew.
He did withdraw
before battles.
He had some mechanicals on the qualifying day, and I think he's got it sorted. So obviously Braden Mayer in the lead here with David Hunter in the chase as he initiates into outer zone 1. Very good hitting those zones. David's on his rear quarter, maybe lost in the smoke here as Braden goes into outer zone 3 and comes around to outer zone 4. David's kind of lost there and has
he's gone. He went off the track. You're right. He was buried in that smoke, and then I just saw the big puff of brown dirt emerge as the big Laurel bit in. You've heard a few drivers, including Ben Jenkins, our broadcast colleague, has just referenced how narrow the track is here, and if you get wide like what David Hunter has done here, as soon as he dialed the angle in, the rear of the car is out on the dirt and he's got no forward bite and able to drive off.
I think one of the things here is actually the weather plays a little bit to a disadvantage for the chase driver. The way that the wind is flowing at the moment and how the smoke's coming off those rear tyres is going straight into the chase car. So it makes it very, very difficult to understand where you can't actually see where you're going. You don't know where your points are to switch and to make sure that you're not going to hit the car in front. So it makes it very difficult.
Which made Adam Davies' chase decision to chase first even braver, or maybe something that he was just willing to do for that battle? Obviously he's going to get the choice each round. So the three wise men on screen there, Andrew Redwood, Darren Kelly and Taylor James. Joel Counter sitting behind them as our DSO, along with our race control officials Nikki and Sammy, just up there keeping an eye on proceedings. Thank you to our volunteer team here, by the way, doing a great job, and a shout out to all of the team from Invercargill as well, who are the local volunteers helping us out, and a shout out to Macaulay Motors as well, who provide vehicles here for recovery, and provided a vehicle for you and I to get around while we were down here this week in Keisuke. So thank you, Macaulay Motors, southernmost Ford dealer in the world.
I've appreciated the heated seats, actually.
I appreciated the GPS getting us here, because I've never been to Invercargill before, and we got lost a couple of times. Here we go, David Hunter rolls off the line. Braden Mayer sitting about where he needs to be. I think he will have a gauge on the speed of the David Hunter car. Oh, there's a bit more of a gap there than I expected, but closing up now proximity-wise is Braden Mayer.
David.
Now that's unchaseable, right? Like, that is too far from David Hunter.
David actually done very well to save that, and Braden's done even better not to hit David there. So I tend to agree with you there, Warren. It's one of those things where it does become unchaseable.
All about the chaseable lead. It's been a very clear directive from our judges this season. You must deliver a run. That's actually the Adam Davies and Greta Takake battle. So I wonder if this is no, hypothesising for nothing. I thought maybe there might have been a DSO review potentially underway there, because the judges and the DSO do have the ability to go back if a driver chooses to question something. So I thought maybe there might have been something interesting there, just given the way that played out, where it was a sort of a single versus a single. But just some extra replay footage being thrown in there. So we're going to take a look now at what happened for David Hunter.
So he's done very well going to out of zone 1 there, but he's just done a bit of an aggressive switch. He's like pretty much backwards past 90. Braden's done very well to break there and miss David and not collect him. So David's also done well there, but I mean, yeah, again, it does come back to whether that was chaseable or it was a chaseable lead.
Well, you've rotated to 90, so effectively you've taken all the forward momentum out of the car. So in terms of a flow and style type score, pretty hard to attribute it any other way. Down to Stephen with the decision. Braden Mayer, no surprises there for us, Keisuke?
Yeah, well done to Braden there. I mean, I guess, again, one of those things from outer zone 1 to is there's no decel zones, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, when you do put on a high angle switch like that, it does tend to slow the car up, which is not what the judges want. So it's definitely a good call there by the judges, unfortunately for David, but it's good to see Braden go through to the top 16.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good result for he and the team, and you gotta wonder if there's a little side wager there going with baby sister over who gets a higher result. We've heard already that the Dallies have got one on the go, so maybe the Mayor's competing to see who finishes with the higher place result, either with Young Z getting some of her best results this weekend.
And talking about the Dallies, we've got Clayton Daly in the RHP S14 and Michael Foley in the NZ 180 S6.
And importantly, Michael Thorley got off the line. He may lose the L plates after this battle.
He definitely went into league day yesterday, I think.
I think they were. I think those were sent by his wife, weren't they?
So Clayton's done very well coming to outer zone 1, and Mike's done very well to switch with him. He's lost a little bit of proximity there. Clayton's done very well. Oh, he's missed outer zone 3 there as they come onto outer zone 4 and through the finish. And Mike's done very well to adjust to that too, because at the end of the day, when you follow the lead car and the lead car goes offline, it actually makes it harder for the chase car to chase. So as we watch the GT radio replay here, Clayton starts off well, going through outer zone 1, switches back to outer zone 2, and it all goes a little bit pear-shaped there. He tried to slow the car up by angling up, but he's really missed a line there. Whereas Mike's actually been online this whole time and goes
he had to get out of the gas, didn't he? So he's decelerated quite significantly there towards the end of that run, and that will, I imagine, put some pressure on Clayton Daly in terms of that $500 bet amongst the Daly brothers down there in the pits.
100%.
I don't know. I didn't ask if Alex Griffin was included in that as well, because that would be interesting if Stocky also came into play. Alex Stocky Griffin the only barra in our pro field. You'll see him coming up shortly, I believe. Yeah, he's on the other side of the draw, but the reason we haven't seen them is because Were Takake and Sean Potros are sharing a car, so usually what happens is they choose to stage those battles quite far apart as far as possible so that the car can be safely refueled, adjusted, replacement tyres, etc. put on. So, speaking of, there we go, that was a nice segue. So that is Alex Stocky Griffin on screen.
Versus Sean Potros, so yeah, that is our next battle.
So they'll be the next to go. So these guys will roll straight through here. Michael Thorley for NZ, Clayton Daly for RHP, and there was some debate yesterday as to whether Clayton was on a 235 or a 265. Keisuke, do we know the answer to that?
No, we still don't know, but I think it's pretty fast. I mean, he does pretty well considering that car is a Pro Sport car. But here we go as Michael Thorley goes to initiate into outer zone 1, is a little bit mid-track there as he comes into the switch. Clayton's trying his best to keep that proximity. Mike's done well going to the inner clip there in outer zone and back into outer zone 4 to the finish.
What happened there? There was like a massive left foot brake and then Clayton just kind of slid straight forward, but was that caused by Mike checking up in front of him, or has it just been...
Yeah, we've got to watch the GT radial replay here as we watch Michael Thorley's lead run.
Clayton's got no angle whatsoever coming out of the initiation.
And Mike's actually done very well there getting out of zone 2 and 3.
That's a re-initiation and chase.
So I think the mistakes were made by Clayton in both the lead and the chase, but we'll see what the judges have to say. I think they're probably going to agree with that, right?
Yeah, I'd almost argue that from what we saw yesterday in terms of the having failed to initiate kind of thing, that might be what we see called here.
But I think Michael Thorley's taken a bit of your advice and is actually driving quite aggressively today.
Well, we did see Mike and the team last night where we were actually picking up Burger Fuel. Shout out to Burger Fuel, by the way, the local Invercargill franchisee. Fantastic job looking after us last night. Burger Fuel fueling D1NZ. Amazing feed last night. And yeah, we told Michael to pick it up and drive a bit harder, so we get a result, and it will be Michael Thorley.
Redemption.
Hey Mike, car go well?
I didn't stall it. Pretty good.
Don't bring that bad juju on yourself. How did you feel about the run?
Oh, I was a little bit scrappy. There's a lot of things I can do to tidy up, but...
Such as?
I need to be out wider, I think. I mean, look at the run, but out wider on entry. And then I think I dirt drop coming into the out of zone 3, but I don't know. I'll have a watch of it and see.
All right, we'll see you in the next round.
Thank you, thank you.
Let's just move on. And Daly, let's see what's going on. The one thing we'll get smiles, which is good. What went down as far as you were concerned?
Oh, no, there was, yeah, Mike put a solid lead run down. I had a bit of a muck up on my lead and my chase, so yeah, no one to blame, just me.
When you talk about muck ups, what's a muck up as far as you're concerned?
I was on the left foot brake and I jumped on the left foot brake a little bit, and I think I locked up front wheels, and yeah, had a bit of a straight line, but felt like it anyway, so yeah.
Tess, what is Pokakoe? Can I see you there?
Yep, dead right, we'll see you there.
See you there.
Awesome, thank you.
Oh, what do you know, Keisuke? I got something right. There we go. Go me. Still smiling though, isn't he?
Yeah,
we need a smile off between Clayton Daly and Cam Omblevray, I reckon. And Mitch, we'll add Mitchell in there too, because he's always pretty happy, and so's Aiden actually. The whole Daly clan's always pretty happy. So, all right. Speaking of the RHP clan, Stocky will lead him away as the high qualifier. He's in 13. Sean Potros 20. That car being double dutied, so you're not seeing a replay here. That is now Sean Potros behind the wheel of the... where is Sean going?
Oh, Sean is known for his aggressive chases. He's definitely putting one on at the moment as they come over out of zone 4 and onto the finish.
Oh, and a wheel off there from Stocky just out through the outer final section. where did it occur? Was it before the? Because you do have to complete that entire section, don't you? So
let's watch the GT Radio replay here as Stocky does initiate a little bit inside there for the outer zone 1. Sean does very well to adjust there in the smoke going into outer zone 2 and 3, and then right there, actually Stocky is very much on the gas, but I think too much on the gas, and he goes a little bit wide going into outer zone 4 there and just drops a wheel.
I think if you take a look at this replay too, just as he gets into outer zone 5, you'll see that there's a minor steering input and an adjustment, and that's just moved him that extra metre up the track. As he switches over here, you'll see a steering input and a bit of a correction here. Just there, see? You see how it's just pushed him that little bit up the track. Sean, I think you're right. I think you hit the nail on the head there with Sean's adjustment to Stocky's initiation and where he placed that car. Just ruthless aggression from Sean.
It was awesome to see because, I mean, Sean was supposed to follow Stocky's line, but he was actually wider out on outer zone 2 than Stocky was. Yeah. So there might be a bit more of an advantage going for the chase run there towards Sean. As we line up here for the next run by Alex Griffin and Sean Potros. Sean Potros in the lead in the Champ Vision 180SX with Stocky in the RHP Barrow-powered S15 in the chase.
He just backed off a little bit there. Is that intentional, just to give himself a little? Because as you know, as somebody who's jumped the lights in the past, mate, hey, jumped the lights to gain advantage on those little 205 tyres.
That was my lead, mate. So as we go, Sean Potros absolutely pulling a wheel on outer zone 1, going to outer zone 2, and absolutely full
side skirt's just gone flying. Stocky's lost.
What a run by Sean Potros there. Absolute aggression, as you can kind of tell from his driving. Wow, that was pretty cool, exciting lead run.
Potros. There is no other way to describe that.
He is an animal.
Yeah, that is Sean Potros summed up in a run. We talked yesterday about a run being think-like. Well, that's Potros like. That is Sean.
Watch that wheel just pop up on the
full limits, full aggression. You get a side skirt actually falls off here, just about goes under Stocky's car. Stocky puts a steering input in there. He's got no idea where Sean's going, has another correction there and another input, and just is just being blanketed. As you pointed out before, that smoke is being blown directly back at the chase car, and it must be just so hard to work out where the lead car actually is. I guess all you can reference is probably the fact it sounds like there's gunshots going off in front of you because Sean's just buried deep in the limiter.
Yeah, I mean, Stocky's done very well there considering how much smoke's coming out the back of Sean Potros's car, but yeah, is it good enough to beat that lead run? Because wow, that was an exciting run.
It was. It's just Potros like. So there are the wise men on screen again. Joel wanders back to shot. Stephen's about to sway this way. Sean Potros gets the call.
Turn that car off. I can't hear myself think. Great lead, mate. How good did that feel?
No, this thing's a rocket ship. Massive thanks to Blackby and Wedita for getting me here and, well, lending me the car. Sadly, my car wasn't there with the boys done the crew, like massive help trying to get it done yesterday. But yeah, this thing's a rocket ship for only doing 4 laps. It's scary fast.
Well, it doesn't seem right when we don't see you. We missed you yesterday. Welcome back.
No, thank you.
Let's just quickly talk to Alex. 2 pretty good runs when you think about it, right?
Hey Stephen, how are you?
Yeah, good. Did you hear my question? No. 2 pretty good runs when you think about it.
Yeah, pretty happy with that. Gave it a send. Short always brings it. But yeah, had a lot of fun. It was cool. Came out of the section like just screaming, Tony, I don't care if I won. That was so much fun.
And that's what it's all about. See it, Pookie?
Yeah, mate. See you there. And thanks to everyone at home. There's a lot of our team missing this weekend. Wish you guys were here, but they'll be at Pookie.
See it, Pookie?
Yeah, mate. 200. Here we come.
200 Ks, he's keen.
Is it true that he's also the mayor of Te-Puke? I believe it is.
That's what I've heard.
Stocky's the mayor of Te-Puke. Alex Griffin, of course, is also known as Stocky. Now, this is the boss, James McManaway from JDM versus Scotty D in the John Atwood rocket ship. It's the Barra rocket, and John Atwood had it flying, and Scotty D is also another man who knows no other way other than to bury the right foot, and he has just gapped. Oh no! He's con searching for Dagaville Kumra again. Scotty D. works for Earthworks, gone and done some earthworks. What are you up to, Scotty?
He loves it so much.
He does love it so much. Shout out to Hans and the team, by the way, from Earthworks as sponsors. Scotty D doing earthworks in the John Atwood car.
Let's see the GT radial replay here as we see what happened here. I mean, Scott's done pretty well. He's left a gap against James as he goes into outer zone 2 there. James doing as much as he can, but there's actually mistakes from both of them here. So, I mean, Scott, I think he did a late switch into outer zone 3 and left him wide. And maybe the car shut off. I'm not too sure there as James comes around and finishes his run. So, yeah,
it was slightly odd, wasn't it, how quickly it just changed directions.
Again,
and
that
then,
last corner is quite a banked corner, so whether there was too much load on the front outside wheel or the lead wheel there.
If you have a look here though, where does this, see that inner wheel, which way does it end up facing? It's still hard on angle. I wonder if something did break and it's centered off that way. See how it's just still sitting quite hard on angle?
I mean, again, these cars have been through war this weekend, right? I mean, that car has just gone through a full 2 rounds of Pro Sport and now Pro, so might be a little bit too much for the car, potentially.
Well, yeah, potentially. Where's that inner wheel facing? Is it on the same angle?
It's still attached.
Yeah,
from what I can see.
Yeah, it's just hard to pick up. There is Putahi from Smart Steel, our official recovery partner for the entire D1NZ season. Smart Steel, give them a shout out if you're looking for a steel shed or anything. Putahi is the Central North Island Taupo franchisee out there on recovery as always in the custom Smart Steel suits, and they'll try and dig that out. So yeah, that might take a little while because that's beached in there quite heavy, not for the first time actually today for that car, Keisuke.
I mean, the sand's actually done very well because there isn't too much runoff with the speed that they're doing. So that sand trap has really done its job here, stopping the car before getting to any type of incidents there. So
I love the fact that media always sees the opportunity. That's Scott from Whippy Photo, and behind him they're just grabbing the opportunity to grab a shot of the John Atwood car, which is just buried. All right, so while we recover the John Atwood machine that Scotty D has buried, time to take in some quick commercial messages.
D1NZ is coming home to Pukekohe, bringing the world's best to take on the fastest entry in the game. This is more than an event. It's a celebration of the past, a showcase of the present, and a glimpse into the future of drifting. One last chapter written at full throttle. Pukekohe, the final drift. Be there, witness history.
We are at Jeremy Slamet's car. He didn't have the most luck yesterday as he had some overheating issues, and I also understand he's had some mechanical issues. He's not been able to find a belt overnight.
No, so no belt. That's probably, yeah, this is almost like the least of the last thing you need to fix up. We did say yesterday after my finals there that if you can't fix it with zip ties specifically or stick tape, it can't be fixed. And we've just gone ahead and chucked zip ties on as a fan belt replacement. Only has to run the water pump and the alternator, so we're hopeful that this will work. We know it has worked on road cars for people to get to their destinations. Whether it works in an 800 horsepower Supra, we'll find out. I guess it's a big, these are pretty cool zip ties actually. They've actually got rubber on them and everything, so super cool, and fingers crossed they'll work. He's trimming them off now and I think we're about to fire, so see if it works.
Well, as you said, it ain't silly if it works.
Exactly. It's gonna work, I'm telling you.
It's definitely some number 8 wire ingenuity, isn't it, Keisuke? Applied with a unique New Caledonian flavour by Jeremy Slamet. And is it going to work? If you have just joined us, your eyes are not deceiving you. Those are cable ties being used as a fan belt. I imagine that would basically shred your hand if you put it anywhere near that. And that is trying to function in an 800 horsepower pro level drift car. That is as Kiwi backyard mentality as it comes.
Wow.
The only thing that could make this better is if there was a hole in the radiator and someone popped an egg into it to fill the gap.
There goes one.
There goes one.
Yeah.
And no, it didn't work, Luke. Oh no. Well, I think that might potentially take Jeremy Slammett out. His opponent was to be Justin Patterson. They were meant to run a replay of basically their battle yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see what happens now, because Jeremy did drive yesterday, didn't he? So he can't change cars now. Yeah, he did. Jeremy did leave the line yesterday in the Supra, so he can't change cars now.
So if we look at the battle tree here, obviously from the standings from Saturday round 1, the first top 9 drivers actually got a bye run, so they go straight to the top 16. There's a couple of drivers that did retire. I think Adam Whitehead was one of them, and obviously David Hunter.
Adam had a massive impact, and then. Yeah, I would personally wonder if Adam would have been medically cleared to compete today, even if he'd chosen to, as somebody who has had a fairly significant impact in past.
Well, we come up here to the top 24. Yep, Sam Edinburgh.
Yeah, Sam Edinburgh and Aaron Habib. So Aaron Habib in Tyler West's Fleet Tyre car. We have seen Tyler West's car already today try and dozer Jamie Carr's car off the track, so it's looking a bit the worse for wear. It's got some battle scars on it, and I say that one might be one of the contentious battles potentially that we would be reviewing. We have had an explanation from Darren Kelly in terms of what the judges adjudicated to have happened, and I think we're just holding briefly here because I think probably some of our tents and signage look like they're about to maybe take flight, and that might become a health and safety issue. So health and safety is paramount. We don't want to run a track while it is dangerous to anyone. Keisuke, you were saying you were just analysing the tree there. Anything else that stands out to you battle-wise that you think might go potentially to...
No, as we kind of watch the first run from Sam Edinburgh and Aaron Habib in the chase, and Sam has opted to lead as they come into outer zone 1. Good initiation there from Sam as he goes into outer zone 1 there. Good switch. Bit of a big gap there between Aaron and Sam. Sam doing he's late switched down to outer zone 3 and gone across the finish line, whereas Aaron's actually gone off. But whether the judges will see that as following a late switch line, or Aaron just made a mistake.
I would say incomplete zero chase from Aaron, just based on the fact that there was an error independent prior to that where wheels had gone off, and then he has failed to complete the section under control, so to speak. Yes, Sam Edinburgh is carrying a lot of speed here, and he does run a wheel up high, but Aaron Habib is so far back that to argue that Sam has sort of led him off the track.
So Aaron, you're totally correct. I mean, Aaron's actually gone off track, 2 wheels off track on the switch before outer zone 3, which has put him off track at outer zone 4. So Sam's actually done a pretty good run here. He's gone wide out of zone 2, absolutely nailed it. He has a lot of speed here, and he's trying to stop his car to get into the switch for out of zone 4. He's made it around the track, and unfortunately for Aaron, he hasn't. So
I'll tell you what, I'm really happy, and I think the VIP boys should be proud of their efforts this weekend. We've sort of seen them in past, and it's just looked like they've been that little bit out of sorts and not comfortable on the tracks. But we've come to Teretonga, and both Sam Edinburgh and Dan Caldwell, I think, have looked really good, really comfortable. I mean, Dan was within a whisker yesterday of top 4ing, right? Like, what did he say? He was just so chill about it. He was just stoked. Ultimate Southern man. I think I'm just going to have a cold beer.
Yeah.
Just going to have a cold one, mate.
He was stoked to be here.
He'll be right. Happy to be here. And Sam Edinburgh likewise had kind of that weird situation with Connor Halligan where they had to run again. So he could have
very good sportsmanship from Sam. Very good sportsmanship.
Right, now I think if I'm Sam, given the way his car hooked up and ran, I let Aaron Habib run a little bit here. Very late initiations from both, but Edinburgh probably just... Oh no, Sam! Now is that going to zero his chase? Then we're going to go lead for lead. We have seen a bit of this, Keisuke, over the weekend. Oh. Not the prettiest.
Not the prettiest.
Not the prettiest.
Yeah, I'd like to see the GT radio replay there just to see what actually happened for Sam in the chase and Aaron in the lead. I mean, Aaron's done...
really late, though. Well, he's initiated past the cone. It's going to be a zeroed lead.
Could potentially. I mean,
Well,
Aaron's
yes,
done pretty well going to outer zone 1, and Sam's just really made a mirror of that switch back into outer zone 2 as they come into outer zone 3 and 4 across the finish line. So,
well, you could make an argument for that pass being 0-0, in which case you go back to the first pass where you'd probably say, well, yeah, there's a deduction for Sam, but Aaron's had 4 wheels off the track, so there's only 1 complete run out of 3 then.
Yeah, whether the reinitiation is going to either be... Because he hasn't actually lost drift. He is reinitiated in the chase, right? So whether that will be a full big deduction or will be a...
Well, I think ultimately that will go back to phase 1 of the initiation. Did Aaron Habib initiate where required, or was he too late? And we did see a 0 given a couple of times for that yesterday during pro competition, just for being late. So ultimately that one will fall on the judges. And if we do have something that's very controversial or needs a technical explanation, then we will try and talk to our judges. But ultimately we are trying to get through competition here because we are relatively time certain in terms of needing to conclude battles. We unfortunately did lose our 3rd and 4th place battle out of the pro sports earlier today, so there is the potential for that to happen again depending on how close to our cutoff we are getting. Looking at what is locked in so far, I think we've got Steve's gone and made a call, and it is Sam Edinburgh going through.
Less than perfect, so I'll take the win, but definitely got to do better on the next run.
Where are you getting it wrong?
I think I just sat around for too long. I've just got a bit rusty, so just had to get back out there.
Get out there then.
All right, cheers, mate.
Just for clarity there, Keisuke, I did say the full name Stephen. I did not say the abbreviated version, which would make me unpopular, something that all the drivers know in pit lane. So we do now have a locked-in 16. It is Dave Steadman versus Johnny Latham, Dean Young versus Adam Davies, Ben Jenkins versus Sean Potros, Daniel Woolhouse, Braden Mayer, Connor Halligan against Michael Thorley, Daniel Caldwell against, I believe it's, oh, sorry, we do still have the other half of this battle to go. My apologies. I thought that Scotty D had potentially retired the Atwood car. He is at a massive disadvantage though, we think. Luke Fink is locked in. He will battle Sam Edinburgh, and then we've got Rhodey Knowles and I would imagine Justin Patterson, probably, given it didn't look like, unless Jeremy Slammett has found a belt or is willing to basically risk blowing and destroying a very expensive engine again.
Yeah.
No, race control. Just confirming there, Jeremy Slammett has retired. So the teammates, Rhodey and Justin,
that'd be a good battle.
Are there? Now I want to know what their team orders. Does Rhodey get to turn up for work on Monday if he knocks the boss out?
I think he might be calling a sickie if he does.
You reckon? I'll see you next Tuesday
or Wednesday.
Oh, look, it's been a day. Temperature here in the south is rising. The level of driving's rising. We're into the 16, then we go 8, 4, and then we find our winner here of D1NZ round number 2 for the National Drifting Championship D1NZ. Now an officially sanctioned series. Great victory for D1NZ being recognised, and it's just that little touch of finesse for both our drivers and our sponsor partners, who we are grateful to have on board. Rolling out of the Link ECU start box and through the chicane, they'll come with what we think at the moment is probably advantage to the boss Manaway. But let's see what Scotty D does, because it wouldn't surprise me if the rocket ship rocketed into the side of the, what was at one point, EFI and no turbo, 32.
Oh, and you think you're right, he's given him an attack at the very end there.
What is with Scotty D destroying signs and doing earthworks? How to take your sponsorship too literally?
He's passionate, mate. He's very passionate.
He's earthworking for earthworks. What are you up to, mate?
As we watch the GT radio replay here, James McManaway doing a very good job initiating, missing the zone a little bit as he does a very flat switch into outer zone 2, coming into outer zone 3, and here's where it all goes hairy. I mean, I think I think Scott was looking more at his front tyre or past James McManaway than where he's supposed to be by the B pillar there, as he gives him a little light tap and goes through the GT radial sign.
How many GT radial signs has the John Atwood car been through today?
It might be something that they got a bet on, to be honest. So.
Oh, I shouldn't. I shouldn't lie. I tell you, I got a message before. I mentioned we had some viewers, international viewers, tuned in from Western Australia, and they said John Atwood loves to grab a backpack and go walkabout, and that car just seems to want to go walkabout at the moment. Hello to SJ and Nick tuned in Western Australia. Trying to convince SJ Sarah Jane from the far north originally of New Zealand to come over and maybe do a bit of driving. Good to see her maybe at Gisborne as part of Year the Girls. Yes, there's no Coomeras out there, boys. The Dargaville Coomeras have all been dug up. I think it might be the boss.
I think so.
There it is. Made official.
Hey, into the solid of the 16, McManaway.
Yeah, well, Scotty got me yesterday, so I had to do it again and have a go at least.
How's the car feel?
No, car feels good today, so yeah, but obviously we could be out there with Scotty again, so loving it.
Just quickly, what's that weather? Annoying? Like the wind?
No, it's good for us because it's getting the smoke off the track again, so it's helping clearing visibility and everything, and yeah, it's not lingering.
All right, see you in the 16. Just quickly have a chat to Scotty because it's not his car, and his car blew up yesterday. And I just wonder about this car, man. This car seems to like sand because John had it in sand as well.
Yeah, it just binding like crazy in that last turn. It was a bit weird in the centre through transitions, and I probably shouldn't have gone out then, but John said just send it, bro. So bro's got another dent in his car. Sorry to James, I hate crashing into people, but like when you're in that situation, you got to give it all over. Can't thank John enough for letting us use the car. It's happened a few times. It hasn't been a great weekend for us, but huge thanks for everyone that helps me get here. All the pit crew. It's been a very trying weekend, but hopefully we can pull something together at Pookie.
Looking forward to seeing you putting that Scotty Dinso. All right, folks, we're getting ready to go into the 16. Take a wee break and come back in the wind and the sunshine here at Teretonga Live for D1NZ Pro.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Black Friday is back at Link ECU. 12% off plug-in ECUs, wire-in ECUs, Razor PDM, and we got 12% off select accessories. 15% off the G5 Voodoo Pro ECU, and this sale is going to be running from November 3rd to November 28th, so don't miss out.
We are back here in the sun and the wind at the beautiful Teretonga Motorsport Park in the deep south, and we're going straight down to Joe in the pits.
So these double header rounds, they're a huge pressure on the cars. We just saw Jeremy slam it, trying to finish his alternator belt with cable ties. Unfortunately, that's not worked, so he's forfeited, and Justin Patterson goes through. He was meant to be versus his teammate, Rhodey Knowles, but Rhodey, you've had an issue. Tell us about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're a victim of a drop valve. Well, that's what we're thinking it is. That's what's left of the spark plug out of the cylinder, and yeah, it's pretty devastating, to be honest. I could think of different ways to get my teammate through to the top 8, but look, we'll rebuild and we'll be back for Pukekohe, and yeah, you know, I'm excited to have everyone on board that I do this season, and we'll be back.
Well, I guess that's all the best to Justin into the top 8.
Thank you, Joe, and you can feel the emotion just coming through the interview there for Rhodey after the high yesterday of we believe it's a best qualifying result, Q4, just to have something like that happen for a guy who I don't think he'll mind me saying it. He's a salary and wage earner. He's putting absolutely everything into chasing his motorsport dreams. He's fortunate enough to have a lot of sponsor partners on board with him, and I know he'd want me to send a big shout out to Amalgamated Roofing, his chief sponsors, and all the other. As much as I tease him and I call him Roadie Bobby, right, and say he'd never been a sponsor, he does a great job constantly of referencing his brand partners. He had Link head to toe there, so yeah, Roadie, we feel for you, mate. We know how proud you were yesterday. We know how proud, equally, I think it's important to mention how proud your wife Bex and your son Bradley were of you yesterday, driving under your skin, mate. And you're right, you can still go and cheer for Justin and go on board with him as he quests maybe for his best ever result here at D1NZ, round number 2 of the National Drifting Championship. We go back to the track now, Keisuke, and how good does Johnny Latham's car sound?
I mean, that TRD NASCAR V8, you really can't go wrong. It is, you know, a high revving V8 and a naturally aspirated and an E46 chassis. It's a good combination. We've been seeing him go and really trying to fine-tune the grip out of that car because it is shooting him forward. So let's hope that he's really got that set up dialed for his run here with Dave.
Dangerous Dave, the current leader on points with 112 coming out of yesterday. So Dave, the wily old veteran, sort of left everyone stunned when you and I were sitting here and Luke Fink dropped the bomb on the podium and went, oh, Dave's got a billet block now, which had been kept very quiet. Maybe he didn't tell his wife or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing, right? But yeah, this is interesting. Dave chooses to chase again. Dave, as the higher qualifier, was entitled to choose what he wanted to do, and he's going to let Johnny get his lead run out of the way early. So Dave must be feeling. Is Dave late on initiation?
He was very, very close to him as he initiated coming into outer zone 3 there to outer zone 4, and he's really.
I think Johnny's led him up there, but Dave's
Johnny's
a long way
actually
back.
stopped that run very early, so
that was very untidy. I think Dave certainly expected, with the speed of Johnny's car as you watch them come through the chicane, I think he expected maybe an earlier initiation. I think Johnny's gone past the point of initiation before the cars started actually rotating to angle.
Definitely.
And then that's left Dave with nowhere really to go. So he's had to run a really shallow line around the inside there. And then you can see Dave's jumped on the brakes because he's thinking that Johnny's going to go off the track.
yeah, it's interesting to see what's happened there for Johnny, because he's doing what he was doing yesterday in terms of seeing where the rear feels. I mean, Dave's very aggressive.
But the wheels are still straight at that point.
Yeah, so Johnny's had to actually handbrake after the initiation point. The front was actually understeering a little bit, and again, it's come down to that over grip of the rear. Dave's done very well to adjust to Johnny ahead of him, and as you said there, he's seen Johnny go one wheel off and potentially go straight off, so he's tried to save the car from going off with him.
Yeah, so I think if you sort of rewind that like 5 seconds or so, you'll see that he actually jumps on the brake before Johnny goes off the track. So he's seen where it's going to go and he's predicted it, and he is trying to save anything happening there, I think.
It was good to see Dave, obviously, in the chase here. As you watch the GT Radio replay, he's very, very close to Johnny's rear bumper, which, yeah, I mean, Johnny's had to handbrake to reinitiate going there, which has kind of messed up Dave's initiation and rhythm throughout the run there.
Unchaseable?
Potentially.
Yeah. Judges have been pretty hard on that. They have been pretty harsh on that. So I think that would be the way that the call would maybe go.
Yeah. And you can't have a good chase without a good lead, so makes sense. As we watch run 2, Dave Steedman in the lead, Johnny Latham in the chase. As we come into the initiation corner there, Dave's done a very good job coming into outer zone 1 as he switches back into outer zone 2. Very, very good there. Even Johnny on his door. Dave going into his outer zone 3, and Johnny doing as much as he can to be stick with Dave, and Dave goes across the finish line. That was a very, very good run considering what we saw in the first one.
I think it was good from both, and it was almost like both of them have made a mistake. They've both just tucked a wheel off the inside. I think Dave maybe has got a little bit of a, I don't want to say as a shock or a fright, but I don't know that he expected Johnny to maybe range up on him where he did there. And then Dave's kind of dove to the inside there, ran right along, if not on the ripple strip there. And then Johnny's done the same, but neither of them produced that telltale puff of brown dirt. So it'd be interesting to see how the judges call it. I mean, I think definitely on the first pass, like it's all going to come down to whether Johnny's adjudicated to have initiated sufficiently or possibly reinitiated, and then on that pass there, like it's relatively close, I think. So
again, you can't have a good chase without a good lead, and I think Dave's done a pretty good job in the lead there. So we'll see what the judges have to say.
Keisuke, just Roddy Knowles' team just sent through a photo of the spark plugs from the engine, and that is not good.
Yeah, so normally if it's a spark plug, you melt the very end of the electrode, but that's gone way past that. So yeah, unfortunately for him.
The Dangerous Dave goes through.
You're shaking your head. I called you a malcontent. You're never happy. Okay, so why aren't you happy this time around?
We had a boost cut on entry on our chase, and oh man, it was just a disaster after that. So yeah, very lucky to go through on that. It was absolutely horrible. So I need to sort this out, pick up my game, and get back out there.
Go and do it. Pick up your game, Dave. You only won a round. Get out of here.
He's not happy, is he? He's grumpy, Dave, today. I don't know how do we deal with a grumpy Dave?
Yeah, I think he's got a bit of luck on his side today as well. I mean, obviously one of those things with the double round, it does take a lot of wear and tear on the vehicles as they're showing a little bit of troubles as they go through the paces. But
mate, time for some inside insight. You spent a bit of time with Dino Young last night. How's he feeling as he heads off here?
I'm hoping he gets comfortable in his car, because obviously it's only the first time he's driven his S15. He actually doesn't have a title sponsor either, so he's here on his own accord as he goes into initiation out of zone 1. He's done very well, and Adam is on good proximity as they come into outer zone 3 and 4, and very, very good clean runs from the both of them as they come across the finish line there.
I appreciate the fact you've picked up the subtleties of commentary there, Keisuke, just dropping a little plug there. So if you did see something you like there and wanted to get on board with a driver who was missing a lead sponsor, then Dino Young certainly doesn't turn out a bad-looking car if you wanted to get on board for Pukekohe, Gisborne, Bay Park, all of the three, one of the three. I'm sure he would appreciate talking to you. I was really surprised to see Adam Davies pop out of that smoke where he did, because I didn't realise he was ranging up that close. Now, what happened there was Dean out of that early and then suddenly realised Adam was closing on him at a rate of knots?
Yeah, as we watch the GT Radio replay with the judges here, I mean, Dean's done a very good job in the outer zone 1 switch to 2, where Adam, like you said, popped out of the smoke there as he comes. This is the issue here from outer zone 3 to 4, as Dean's kind of
straight before the end of the section.
Whether he's straight or he's shallowed up an angle, very much so, to get across that finish line there. So we'll see how the judges determine that.
Yeah, those are our three wise men on the screen. Andrew Redwood, Darren Kelly's the hat backwards guy, and Taylor James is the hat forwards guy. That's how we.
And then no hat Redwood.
Yeah, no hat in. Follically impaired is the correct term, Keisuke.
But very efficient.
Brutal to a point. So they'll switch over now, and Dean Young will have the chase, as you point out, Keisuke. Certainly not an easy task in an unfamiliar car to chase someone like Adam Davies, who has had a number of years now trying to tame the car they call Karen, the grumpy, high-strung 20B rotary engine. So she certainly kicks hard when Adam stands on the loud pedal, and we sort of said earlier that maybe Adam's had a few things going on, but maybe this is going to be maybe this is where the luck comes through for him. So unfortunately happens to be in the same bracket as his teammate, and it would be a battle with Dave Steadman awaiting him after this if he got the call. So yeah, there's going to be some tears there somewhere.
See as they come into the initiation zone there. Dean's taking an inside line there to try and keep up with Adam Davies. As Adam's really straightened up in that first out of zone, second out of zone.
Oh, lawn mowing. He's cut the pole line horribly. I don't know that Dean could chase that.
Yeah, that is my opinion as well. How the judges will see that is another question. So as we watch the GT radio replay, we'll try and unfold what happens here. I mean, Adam does all right. He initiates before the zone, hits the zone there, but I think it drives him to the inside there, which there may be a potential straight line as he comes back into the inner clip to the outer zone 3 and 4. And unfortunately for Dean, it does shut him out as the chase car. So seeing how Adam did lead there may be a little bit of review going on with the DSO.
From what I'm hearing, it's going to be a look at a side by side, which means they're looking, I think, to see if they can confirm a significant mistake there and whether in fact it probably is a zero out. So I think it'll be a question of did Dean zero out on his lead, and then has Adam effectively zeroed out, but then Adam has completed a chase the first time round, so it could. We saw this happen before where Adam got the call off just a chase run, so that would be where it would balance out, right? Like if you saw a 0-0 there, and then the first one is adjudicated to have been complete, then it would go back to Adam's chase run.
Yeah, I do not want to be a judge in this point because this is where it becomes very, very hard.
Yeah, Adam has completed this. He hasn't gone off the track at all, but Dean is driving straight there before the end of the section.
So we'll be determined by the judges how much deduction they take off. So
Stephen's about to put us out of our misery and let us know what happens. Is Adam going to get lucky twice?
Or is it going to go to Dino?
Goes to Dino. Unanimous call.
What do you reckon about that one?
I'll take it for starters. We both had pretty shoddy leads, so obviously the judges seen it in my favour, so I'll take it, man.
Enjoying this pro?
I do rate a radial. I don't mind pro sport, but yeah, no, it's good. The car's totally different to drive, man. They're blooming quick on these semi-slick tyres.
Right, go prep for the next round. Have a quick chat to Adam. I'll ask Adam the same question. How did you see that, mate?
Oh, pretty damn scrappy, to be honest. I just had to put in a clean lead run and I just couldn't do it. Actually, the track had gripped up between top 32 and top 16, so quite significantly too. So yeah, I saw Dino. I saw he understeered coming out of the last turn. I thought, oh, maybe it's enough for a zero, and I definitely zeroed to my lead. So yeah, pretty scrappy weekend. What do you say? I have to go to Pukekohe and try again, eh?
Love to see you, Pukekohe.
Cheers, Stephen.
Alrighty, we're underway with our broadcast colleague Ben Jenkins leading away from Sean Potros. Two hard chargers who will put on a show here. We saw Sean earlier just being an absolute nuisance, and again the same thing from Sean. He is just a mosquito all over the Ben Jenkins Phoenix entry. The man knows no other way other than foot flat, Keisuke.
Yeah, I think both of them know no other way than being foot flat there. Very, very good run for both of them. Let's check the GT radio replay here as Ben initiates, actually Sean initiates earlier than Ben to try and tuck up into the door as they switch back to outer zone 2, and door on door by Sean there, not getting lost in the smoke a little bit there. Ben does switches a little bit early and doesn't get out of zone 3 as much as he wanted, but a clean run from the both of them.
I was really impressed that Sean managed to get to that inside line there, Keisuke, take a little bit of angle back out of it and kind of continue on with his drift, just massaging that run just to keep it going. You watch just here, he just flirts with an inside line. There's the most subtle of steering inputs there and just showing what a quality driver he is. In Sean's case, I think it's fair to say that he's probably a bit like Luke Fink, where he drives with that aggression. Sometimes it's the mechanical things that hold him back rather than anything else. He could be a champion if he was in a car that he would deal with his lack of mechanical sympathy reliably for 5 rounds. It's just. It is phenomenal what he can do with a car, and I'd love to see him go international again at some point.
Yeah, I think we call drivers like that a little bit hard on the gear, but it's one of those things where you do, if you want to drive aggressively, you have to be hard on them. You have to be a bit of a foot flat mentality, not care about or have any mechanical sympathy on the car and just go all out.
Out of interest, did you get any feedback from the judges on the Adam Dean battle?
Not yet.
So just waiting for maybe an official interpretation there, but the judges obviously very focused on getting us through the show here as Sean Potros leads away. Now, is Benny in drift?
He is, but I think he's been a little bit left behind there as he catches up to Sean.
Benny!
Yes.
Control Alt Bumper Delete. Benny.
Yeah, I think
too many gummy worms.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit tired today, but one of those things where he did get left off the line and he was trying to catch up to Sean there. As we watch the GT Radio replay, you can see as it goes kind of pear-shaped here. Sean goes very hard into the initiation, out of zone 1 there. Ben gets left behind, pops out of the smoke as Sean's on pretty much full angle there and tries to, I think Ben's tried to switch back but thought instead of hurting the car and Sean, he's opted to get out of that run there. So unfortunate for Ben in the Phoenix S15. Might be all she wrote.
I reckon he'll be back in here in a minute. He'll want his seat back. He might decide it's a nice place to cool down in here and maybe just let out some frustrations.
I always love having the chat with Benny.
Yeah, we'll let him cool down though a little bit, I think, maybe.
It's one of those things that does, having the double header.
We're just waiting on.
Will be very hard on the guys. So as we go back to Stephen.
I think he's just waiting for Benny to make his way back round, and it'd be interesting to see how Mr. Jenkins responds in his interview here.
Well, okay, you get back in the seat and you keep going. How did that feel?
Yeah, it's still getting the hang of the track. It's wicked, it's fast. I don't even think the front wheel's on the ground.
No, you've had it on 3 already.
Yeah, and it looks like we're pushing a little bit of water, so hopefully nothing too major.
Don't talk about things you don't want to happen. Just quickly over to Ben Jenkins in the Phoenix S15. Just quickly, mate. Oh, I don't know, you look a bit awkward there. What happened?
This is what happens when you have 2 really gripped up cars. Sean's car's insanely fast out of the first turn, and I was just playing catch up. So playing catch up and trying to catch back up onto him, I took a shallower line, and just coming through the smoke, I was about to smoke into him. So that's the tyres that we're on. They're so incredibly grippy and so fast and very unforgiving. So I just made a monumental error there coming out through the smoke, and that's all she wrote. She's back in the container, back to Auckland.
See you, Pookie.
See you, Pookie.
Well, that was a tamer version that I thought we were going to get there from Ben, but I'm sure there will be a more entertaining version delivered back in the pits as we take a look at young Braden Mayer against the wily old coyote himself, the 4-time New Zealand champion Fangadan Woolhouse in the Mustang, right on the edge of the track there, and Braden Mayer pops in right in his smoke trail there. And then Fanger runs a wheel off the inside, and this is messy from Fanger Dan.
Yeah, but Braden's actually done a very, very good job to adjust to what's going out in front of him. Some of those switches on Fanger's bumper there, as we watch a GT Radio replay, as Fanger does like you said, a very wide line coming off the initiation to outer zone 1. Braden doing very well to switch right behind him as Fanger does a little bit of left foot braking there to get into outer zone 3 and 4, as Braden does everything he can to stay with him going into that. So
where does Fanger Dan's exhaust exit on that side of the car? Is that what's blowing? Is it actually blowing the dirt rather than it's the tyre?
I think you're right.
I think
it is a side exit.
Yeah, because Fanger's car has a side exit exhaust, so he is. I mean, he is certainly very close, but then
on that
one there,
in a clip there, he did have one wheel off on the front, but obviously whether that's going to badly affect Braden in the chase there is another thing. Here's Launchmaster Willie rocking one of my 86 fighter stickers.
Whose hoodies are those, mate?
He's looking good in it too, mate.
Actually, if I want one of those, where do I get one of those from?
You can get them off my website, www.86fighters.com.
86 is the number 8 and the number 6?
Correct.
Yep. And all one word, 86fighters.com?
Yes, please.
Okay. Fund Keisuke's drifting dreams so that he doesn't have to keep sitting in a box with me talking.
Let me come back and drive.
Yeah. Help me build my GR86, please.
Please.
Because I would like to drive a Pukekohe on the Sunday. There is the Launchmaster. There is Willie getting down like only Willie can. Go, Willie. Go, Willie. Go, Willie. He's having a good time out
he
there.
Loves it.
You cannot fault Launchmaster Willie. Just brings the energy from a driver's point of view. Keisuke, I've heard all of you guys say Launchmaster Willie just keeps that vibe high. You guys might be a little bit stressed behind the wheel, but
he is our hype man.
Yeah, he is.
As we come into run 2, Braden Mayer in the lead, Fanger Dan in the chase. As we come out of the chicane into the first initiation, as they pop some gears, and Braden done a very good job in the initiation there. Fanger, has he shut himself out as they come into switch into outer zone 2 and 3 there? Oh, Fanger gone too hard, too early, and nearly takes out Braden.
I saw that coming. Like, you could see that was coming from a mile away, right? Like, I think Fanger would have had a little bit of the red mist after that first run, and then
he definitely had the adrenaline pumping as you watch the GT Radio replay here. Yeah, Braden's done very good from outer zone 1 to 2 as they set up for outer zone 3. And
why is it rocketed forward? Like, it's rocketed forward like that. Is that what Ben was talking about, where the car's so gripped up on the tyre? Because I don't think Braden is notably slowing, is he?
No, he's not. I mean, Braden's car is very gripped up too, so to be able to keep up with them, you really have to pedal the car like Fanger's. Obviously, there's a big weight disparity between the two cars, obviously being on a 265 tyre. And
you can see where Fanger took the angle out of that, and that's affected the momentum, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it's just almost it's slow to almost late to transition. Like, he's still going forward one way while Braden's already transitioned the other way.
So I think he's tried to do an early switch there to tuck into Braden's door, but he's misjudged how fast Braden was going coming out of that smoke. So we'll see what Stephen has as a result there. Braden Mayer gets the win.
When was the last time you beat Fanger?
Mad Mike Sommerbash.
Alrighty, how good does it feel to go again at against?
Oh, it's great. You know, he's a multiple-time champion, so that's over the moon.
Give me the thought about the track, how it's running for you.
Oh, it's perfect. All second into the last corner, yeah. I can't complain.
See you in the next round.
Will do.
We're across to see Fanger. He just reminded me that he beat you at the Summer Bash.
Oh, did he? The cheeky bugger, eh? He's a bloody awesome driver, and he's going to go a long way in the sport. So, yeah, I'm really gutted with myself, like sitting around all this time and the track temperatures changing, and our car was just way too gripped up. Like, man, I was just about going to drive right through him, and but I couldn't even do the normal like Fanger lead run, you know, giving him a really good run. So that was messy on my behalf, and I didn't like that. But yeah, just too much grip out there, and hey,
you know what I'm looking forward to? Seeing you throw this at Bookie, yeah?
And I'll be full sendy, full sendy. So yeah, bring it on, mate. I'm happy. We got points in the bag, and yeah, bring on Pookie, mate.
Okay, there you go. Full Cindy on Pukekohe, Valentine's Weekend 2026. Let's go.
I'm also keen to see Fanger throw down at
that scares me
Pukekohe as well. So
that genuinely scares me. Full Cindy Fanger at Pukekohe is a scary thought for any of these drivers. Now, speaking of scary, oh, Connor, what are you? He doesn't like coming out cold.
Yeah,
he has this problem.
Talking about full
time.
set,
Yeah.
but I mean, Mike's done a very good job here to stay with Connor. Connor's a very, very fast car there, and as they come into the final zone, other than the first chicane point by Connor, it was actually a pretty clean lap from the two of them.
He does not like sitting cold from a bye run. He seems to have this challenge, and he even talked about it yesterday, didn't he, in his interviews. He just doesn't like sitting there cold. But then Mike's had an error there too. Mike's had a little wash in the chase position. I don't know how big the deduction is for hitting a cone. I don't know if it is a full point or if it's a half point. It's not something I've ever actually asked the judges. I wonder if you can maybe find that one out for me, Keisuke, if there is a fixed penalty deduction for that or not.
So watching the GT radio replay, I think the judges are doing the same thing here. They're seeing how Connor's lead run was compared to Mike's chase run there, and looking back at it, I think there's no fixed deduction as per se, but it really depends on how much it affects the chase car. So
Right, so being told by race control it is a subjective penalty, so it does depend how much of an impact it has, and I can understand it to a degree, because there is a difference between if I think about, for instance, like Brodie Maher last year went fully off the track and smoked a cone right before the section, right? So that was a full zero almost right from the start. Whereas, yeah, they can. I mean, from time to time, different cars have different wing configurations, or are maybe longer or shorter than others. So, like if I think about a small car like yours, right, you're not likely to hit a cone maybe, as opposed to Fanger's car is a big car that there's a lot more space that it could hit.
I tend to aim for them though. That's my problem. As we watch run 2, Mike Thorley in the Z180 in the lead, and Connor Callaghan in the S14 in the chases. Mike's done very well in outer zone 1 there as he initiates in outer zone 2. Connor's done very well. He's a little bit lost in smoke. He's trying to make his way into, tuck into Mike Thorley's door there as they go into outer zone 4. Oh, very wide from the both of them, and a very clean lap otherwise from both Mike Thorley and Connor Callaghan.
Oh, good call, mate. Good call. She's pretty close out there. Mike Thorley's he's had a little bit of luck. He's got the old plate still on the car, but he's remembered how to drive. Good.
I think L's for luck, not learner.
Oh, okay. L for Lucy.
Yes.
L for Lucy and Lily.
Yeah.
L for Lucy and L for Lily. That's what the L plate's for. Mike is definitely not carrying the same speed as Connor through the conclusion of the section there, so this might come down maybe to how big is the penalty for the cone, although Mike is probably a little bit shorter of that first section than Connor was.
Yeah, but he's very consistent in his line. He might have come off outer zone 2 a little bit early as well, and whether they've hit outer zone 3 at all coming out of outer zone 4. So they've definitely gone for outer zone 4, but it seems to be a little bit of a trend here in the track where it's very hard to hit outer zone 3 and 4 very smoothly. So we'll see what the judges have to say as we wait for the result of that battle.
Yeah, if you know it's getting tough to make a decision when you see the international drift hand language come out. That's when the judges are deliberating hard. All right, we get a decision. One more time.
One more time, yeah.
So that's
one more time. Here we go. Get out of here. Go and get ready for your one more time. Go on.
So that's mistakes either side there, Keisuke. So maybe the deduction for the cone tap versus maybe a couple of untidy lead moments there for Mike. What's basically set that on a course for one more time. So they're going to change tyres as we get our first look at Dan Caldwell for the Pro Sport for the Pro second day. Dan's car's the blue graphic on the side. Sam Edinburgh, his brother-in-law, has the silver graphic. One is VIP frame and truss, the other is VIP structural steel.
And as we've been saying all weekend, Dan Caldwell has been driving very, very well.
I think he feels comfortable here. Like, it's probably fair to say in the South Island he's at home.
so to speak. The track suits his car, it suits the horsepower, it suits the way it delivers that power, and it probably suits him as a driver. So James McManaway is doing what we saw from him yesterday, where he's sitting back to give the EFI and sort of a turbo barn find car a bit of a run up to try and tag onto the back here of what he knows will be a faster car. So Dan Caldwell will jump on the gas here and it will turn those tyres pretty rapidly, you would imagine, and it will blanket James McManaway in smoke. And somewhere
he's going to pop out of that smoke there as they come around to outer zone. Oh, big angle by Dan. Is he going to be able to keep it?
Well,
no.
James tagged him. James hit him there.
I don't think he did.
I reckon he did. I'm sure James hit him.
Oh, the front bumper's
you
gone.
can see the nudge bar. No, it wasn't. I don't think it was on there, but you can see the nudge bars a little bit bent. I'm sure James came across and he tagged Daniel briefly, which puts him off balance, and then it sends the car shooting across the track.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty keen to see the GT radio replay here to see what has actually happened.
James Superstock McManaway is back. That's what happened.
Was he at the Speedway last night?
We've seen this from James before, where he is certainly not afraid to put on an uber committed chase.
Yeah, so
and you watch this, he'll
comes
just
in here.
come rocketing up, and then there's a tag here onto the rear. And you see just where it jumps the car forward, and I think there's a head or headlight or indicator now sitting on the track.
But what happens here is that obviously Dan's run in the lead, he was very, very high angle, whether he was too high angle and angle stalling, where in a decel zone it's very hard to chase that. It'd be interesting to see what the judges say here, because there are two, obviously, you know, with a lead. I mean,
but he's not given the ability to correct either. Like James is already heading at that speed, right?
Yeah.
So Dan checks up, but James has already transitioned back towards him, and
starts to understeer before Dan actually does anything wrong. So,
but that is our opinion as commentators. We are not the judges, so it will fall back on them. And there is, of course, still another run to go as well. So
anything can happen.
Yeah, might not matter at all. So wait and find out here.
Whether the cars need a 5 minute or not. Obviously there might be a little bit of
safety
damage.
check here for Dan. He'd be entitled to, because there was contact, he'd be entitled to have the rear of the car inspected, I don't think.
And with James hitting the front of his car, whether a intercooler pipe has popped off or anything like that, so I think they're just checking the front of the vehicle there.
There's Janice out there from our start line crew, the Link ECU start line crew, Link ECU start box. Thank you to all of our brand partners for the weekend, Link ECU, GT Radial, our official replay sponsor, Logitech, of course, bringing us the Sim Drift Series, Mick, who sponsor the Exit Zone and also sponsored the Hard Park yesterday, Mimico sponsoring our VIP, and of course the winner of Pro today will take away a Ting toolkit worth $8,900. Keisuke Nagashima, the 205 King, joining me in the commentary box for D1NZ 25-26. Fantastic driving so far, mate. We've seen a pretty solid showing from the Pro Sports, and the Pro Boys definitely bringing their A game this afternoon.
100%. I mean, it's been so like 5 to 6 years since we've been back at Teretonga, bringing definitely a different type of track, very fast and flowing track. It's been mixed conditions from the get-go here at Teretonga as well, which has made it very, very difficult for the guys to adjust and set the cars up. It's been really good to watch them all trying to make the most out of the days today. So
the reason I'm chuckling is because in the picture-in-picture you can see Luke Fink giving James McManaway the fist bump, followed by the limmy finger, which is just keep sending it, boss. And it's just the most Fink thing ever. Luke is an entertainer, and James will be loving it. I'm sure there's a big smile on James's face at the moment, and I don't think Dan will be too worried about it at all. It's just a car, right? Cars can be fixed and replaced, and they'll go out there and send it. So here we go with the boss man. He will lead away this time, and he will look to initiate there. She's certainly not looking too pretty, but she was the barn find before that anyway for the JDM team. That's out of the backup or spare car, and James has got some speed. He's found some speed here. Run away from Dan Caldwell to a certain extent, and then James with some big waivers. Sorry, not James. Dan, some big waivers in the chase position there. Certainly came out of angle to try and close up proximity there.
Yeah, 100%. As we watched the GT radio replay, it's one of those things where I think it all went wrong for Dan Caldwell. control after the initiation here. So James has done a very good job in out of zone 1, and right there he does a very late switch and goes wide, tries to catch up by going on the inside. James has actually done a very, very clean run in the lead there, and Dan is just playing catch up after that point. So
that would be James's best lap of the weekend, quite easily from a consistency point of view. The question just becomes simply who was at fault for that first run, because it's either an incomplete or it's
someone's at fault.
Yeah, someone's at fault. So you couldn't take a score out of that. Therefore, I think on that run there, I would largely say that James has got the advantage on that one. So it's just a question of, was he at fault in the first one there? And interestingly enough, you have Dan Caldwell versus James McManaway in one battle, and then coming up after this, Luke Fink and Sam Edinburgh, JDM versus VIP.
James
McManaway. So you were correct, Keisuke.
Did you do that second run with your front bumper all under it?
I think it was under it the whole time from the first run, but we just keep going.
What happened in that the chase?
Just where Dan sort of switched back, I was just, he sort of
got excited.
Basically. Foot down.
See you in the next round. Well done, mate. Let's give a quick chat to Dan. Oi, that was a nice bumper that I saw this morning. What went down, buddy?
I think the road just got a bit greasy and sort of lost it sort of thing, yeah. Then I threw it out for old James, but through the back I hit a bit of dirt, and unfortunately I lost, but James won, so it is what it is, yeah.
See you at booking?
Absolutely, yeah. We'll be there.
Can't wait, mate.
Good on you, cheers.
It's very philosophical and relaxed, isn't he? True Southern gentleman style.
He is a gentleman. As we look at the next run here by Luke Fink in the lead in the JDM Racing 180SX versus Sam Edinburgh in the V8 VIP S15 here. I think there's a little bit of track surface change here. There's still a lot of smoke here, but I think, like Dan said, it's a bit more slippery. But Sam's doing a very, very good job here in the chase position against Luke.
Just really struggled for angle through the first part of the run in his chase. Just you saw how he had to take a lot of the angle out just to try and hang on to Luke Fink out front. I think, is that the supercharged one? That's the supercharged car?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's very, very rapid, sort of 950 to 1,000 horsepower. You see how Sam's had to take a lot of angle out of that car to try and hang on there. I think it's a very good job by Sam up until then.
100%.
Certainly some of the better driving we've seen from him, just like Dan. Looking much more comfortable at home here in Teretonga, but Luke Fink is just so good at what he does. He's always going to deliver you that chaseable run, unless the car's misbehaving. Luke is going to give you an opportunity to put on the show, and Luke wouldn't. I don't think he'd mind if he lost to a driver who just absolutely brought the fight to him. So let's see what happens here. Sounds like potentially via race control that we could have a 5-minute call here, Keisuke, but waiting for that to officially be confirmed.
Because one of the things I was looking at too, when Luke in his lead going into the finish zone, he might have actually straightened up before the finish line, but I'm not too sure there. So there might have been a mechanical as he finished his lap, mechanical issue, and he's gone back into pit lane.
Yeah, so checking out the sights and sounds here of Teretonga. We are at the southernmost racetrack, certainly in New Zealand. There oh, now what's that, a bash bar? Whose car's that come off? Is that, sorry, I think somebody just pointed out, sounds like, it looks like there's maybe a bit of debris on the track there that will need to be picked up. I can see a Logitech sign just in behind that clipping point. And Keisuke, we mentioned the Logitech e-drifting series earlier on, a chance for somebody to win a drive of a Toyota A6 in D1NZ for 2026-27.
That would be pretty cool.
I think that's the front of James McManaway's car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the barn find. Hello, Purahi. Hello to Purahi from Smart Steel Buildings. Always part of our recovery team, leading the charge out there, first to respond when required.
You're talking about the Logitech eSports series. I mean, that would be a very, very good opportunity for anyone, you know, with a sim at home that practices and wants to actually get some real-life experiences by winning the series. I mean, again, I've done a couple of eSport series championships. The nervousness and everything else is very similar to real life. So, yeah, it'd be a very good opportunity for someone to get into it where they can.
Was it Luke's? Is it Luke's bash bar? Luke's rear bash bar, potentially. No, it runs a bottom triangle on it, doesn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. The mystery deepens as we look at Justin Patterson, who, well, Justin's already in the top 8, so he's actually got to wait for a result. Okay, so that first run has been scrubbed due to debris on the track. So I would say that given what we've seen, Keisuke, they would be entitled to change tyres, because we do know that the drivers are struggling to get 2 complete laps out of a set of tyres. So I think you'd be very brave, particularly for either Luke or Sam, with the level of horsepower and speed that they've got, to try and run a second set of laps
100%
on that set of tyres. So I wonder if we'll switch over. Maybe we might see Halligan and Thorley maybe move to their one more time battle. We know that James McManaway's already gone through. We know Dave Steadman's gone through. We know Dean Young's in the top 8. We know Sean Potros is in the top 8, and we know Braden Meir is in the top 8 as well. So yeah, I wonder if they are going to go back and change tyres, or whether we will just switch to this next battle and just complete out this top 8 tree. Wise men on screen there. So I wonder if... Okay, so race control advising Luke Fink's diff has let go on the track.
Again.
So, given that's a scrubbed run, we will need to consult the rulebook, because the battle has begun, but then the run has been scrubbed. So Luke, I believe, could probably call his 5 minutes at this point in time prior to the battle starting, which would mean then we'd move to Connor and Michael. I think that would be how it would play out, but again, that'll be in the hands of the CRO. So yeah, interesting things. I wonder if we can chat to the judges maybe in the interim. Just we didn't really get a clarification before on the Adam Davies and Dean Young battles, so if the judges were able to talk to us, that would be good. But I know that they are busy as well, and we are seeing that they're still deliberating around a couple of other things. I can see, yeah. So we've now got to get Luke's car towed off the track. So there is going to be a little bit of a recovery period here, so to speak, as Luke's car will have to be towed all the way back around. So if we can pick up our judges there at all, if possible, that would be appreciated. If not, we can continue onwards, and looking forward to watching Dangerous Dave and Dean Young go head to head.
That'll be a good battle.
Certainly Sean Potros and Braden Meir is going to be pretty wild.
That would be very good too, yeah.
That one would not surprise me if there was some stickers trade places. We might just let Justin Patterson hit the section.
Do his Byron. So Luke getting towed off there, obviously don't want to get any more gear oil on the track, so they're doing a very good job staying off the course to not leave any oil on the track, because obviously that would be a bit of a safety concern if any of those oil contaminants gets onto the tyres of other competitors.
Yeah, Macaulay Motors recovery vehicle, part of the Teretonga track crew here. Macaulay Motors, the southernmost Ford dealer in the world. And they did research that, and they made sure that they were correct in saying that, comparing themselves to other countries in South America. And look at how brutal that wind is, Keisuke. I am pretty glad actually that I'm in here with you, because I feel like there's going to be some windburnt faces out there, and I've got to say, I think from Joe's point of view, I'm sure there is blonde hair flying everywhere at the moment, just battling the wind conditions, because she's pretty breezy out there at the moment. Here at Teretonga, I'm guessing probably high 20s, maybe early 30s wind speeds. Launchmaster Willie's just chilling though. He's out there still. He's all right.
He's pretty warm in my
He's warm in the 8s. Where did I get that from again?
From my store, online
from your store. Your store. You can buy. Do you know what else you can buy online? a Link ECU.
You can.
You can buy a Link ECU online. You can buy GT radials online. You can buy Logitech online. You can even buy Mic product online if you want to clean your car up. The only thing I don't think you can buy online is something from Mimico, because I don't know how you'd fit a case excavator in a Courier. Maybe a toy one.
It might be fun.
It might be fun. It might. I don't know. There's a question for Team DSR and Rex. Do you sell anything that actually fits in a normal size Courier parcel? Because I know you got Moxie dumpers, and I know you got case earth movers, and I know you got all sorts of other machinery there. But do you actually have anything that fits in a Courier envelope? You can solve that dilemma for us. You definitely can't fit the 10 Tools Podium toolkit in a normal Courier. You have to send that via a truck. That's a full pallet, but that's what arrives. About $9,000 worth. If you win D1NZ Pro, then you get a toolkit that is full, worth about $8,900. So thank you to 10 Tools for that. We appreciate that prize. As we see the always animated Mr. Fink, the cameras come off. Is Luke getting out of that car? Has he called it a day? Or there's Russ. The reason he's got the race suit on is because that is a refueling requirement, Keisuke, and rules. Sounds like Stephen is en route to find out what's going on.
Luke Fink's out, blown diff. We're out of diffs. Does that just make you grumpy?
Oh, it is what it is. I was probably more a little bit disappointed about there being a large piece of metal out on the track, so I did have to give the car a massive kick in the guts when I probably normally wouldn't have had to. I think the diff probably would have gone anyway, to be honest with you, but it didn't help. But yeah, couldn't be fixed with zip ties or duct tape this time, so we tried our best. Big shout out to the JDM boys, and get ready for round 3, hopefully with the S15, the big diff in the back. We'll have a quick change and all that sort of stuff in there. So yeah, as much as I love this thing, she's a bit tired. She needs a quick change or something, but yeah, otherwise pretty stoked with the weekend. A 3rd yesterday. I think we'll end up with a 9th or 10th today. It is what it is, and push on for the next round.
Looking forward to seeing you throw it at Fukuoka.
Yeah, that's some records I want to break. I want to see how quick it really goes in there, because yeah, I've driven with some of the D1NZ boys in Australia in not a similar corner, but a very fast corner, and I found myself backing off a lot. So I'm pretty excited to be able to go full bore into there.
Big cojones, right?
Absolutely.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Oh, he just can't help himself, can he? He's ever the character as Luke Fink, and he's basically throwing the gauntlet now down to the Kiwi boys to say that he reckons he can go faster than them at Pukekohe Park, and I don't doubt that he is definitely going to be amongst the pointy end of who sets a number with a 2 on the front of it. It sort of reminds me of a comment made by Brodie Maher, who no doubt will be tuned in, who kind of went, oh no, we don't need internationals at our events. He's talking about World Time Attack Challenge, of course, that first corner at Sydney Motorsport Park that we use for the drift section there. Now I have been passenger with Sui Naga-san in the 1,000 horsepower Team Orange Evo.
Yep, cool.
And I know he tipped that in there at about 190k an hour, so that was certainly something to experience. What was that off the back of Mike's car just then? Why did that dip so?
Oh,
that's broken.
no, it's broken.
Mike Thorley's broken. Thorley's car, I saw the spark right on the line there, and it broke the studs or something in the rear. Mike just can't take a trick.
He can't. I mean, Connor's doing a very good job here. Full angle, full commitment into outer zone 2, 3, and 4 as he finishes across the finish line. But yeah, unfortunate for Mike, he must have broken some sort of control arm in the rear there as he stops.
It fired outwards, so I'm wondering if it sheared the studs, because there was definitely something that fired. You watch this here, you'll see it fire off the rear wheel. So if it's back, it happened well before that. It was like on the initial dump of the clutch.
Yeah, it happened as he came off the line.
Yeah. But then it's let go right at the bottom, isn't it? But is that the wheel just sitting loose, still sort of semi-attached? I don't know. I mean, so Connor Halligan's gone from having what he sort of self-admits as being an initial rusty first run to one more time to now he's got potentially looking at on a one more time at least a 5-minute call for Thorley. I don't think he's used his so far, but it will depend what's broken there. So yeah, the incident happened before then, so it's before the cars have even really left the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, again, with a double-header event, there's a lot of strain, wear and tear on these cars, and a lot of the components that go through the paces, especially in the rear side of things. And we're putting a lot of grip through these cars with the 265 semi-slick tyre on the rear, and sometimes these components fail. So unfortunately for Mike, hopefully he can get back out there potentially, but we'll see if he has any spare parts.
Oh, look, plenty going on here, Keisuke. I don't even know how to describe how we're seeing events unfold here at round number 2 of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. We're going to go to a quick commercial break and we'll be back with you shortly.
Black Friday is back at Link ECU. 12% off plug-in ECUs, wire-in ECUs, Razor PDM, and we got 12% off select accessories. 15% off the G5 Voodoo Pro ECU, and this sale is going to be running from November 3rd to November 28th, so don't miss out. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you have just joined us for the day, we are into the top 8 of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship for round number 2. You are watching on screen a recovery of Mike Thorley's car. Mike has just withdrawn. He has had a quick look at the car, advised that it is broken beyond repair, so Connor Halligan moves through, and that means our top 8 looks like this. It is Dangerous Dave Steadman, up against Dean Young. It is Sean Potros versus Braden Mayer. It is Connor Halligan up against James McManaway, and it is Sam Edinburgh versus Justin Patterson. So 2 drivers there who would be on for potentially their best result either way. James McManaway potentially into the 4 if he can take out Connor Halligan. Dangerous Dave, he will now know that Luke Fink is gone, and that is very important for him points wise. Dean Young, does Dean Young in round number 2 in Pro potentially make the top 4? And then the always dangerous Potros, and potentially a young man who could break through again. He has been in the top 4 before, Braden Mayer, but he hasn't yet made the podium. So a lot to play out here, Keisuke, at round number 2, just gone after 4 p.m. here. So making our way through the tree pretty rapidly here, but still a lot to play out. And Mike Thorley just... there's a voodoo doll somewhere of Mike. There has to be, right? Like he's the nicest guy in the world, and he works so hard in terms of the drift taxi, and he puts together the program for he and his wife Kim, and he just looks frustrated in the car, or forlorn is probably the word that I'm looking for there to paraphrase. The NZ car just making its way rather ingloriously back to the pits on the back of the recovery truck, but look, Mike will be back. Mike will be back at Pukekohe. And
Let's just take a look there. So it's right on the start line there. You would have just seen something fire off the back of the car, whether it was the wheel studs or something has let go there that's just made the car completely undrivable, and Mike Rightly has pulled off the inside of the track there. And here we go, Dino versus Dangerous Dave, and Dave again chooses to chase. I like this. I don't mind the strategy from Dave.
I like it. Makes it interesting. Obviously, fresh tyres coming into the first run here as Dean comes over the chicane into the initiation, and Dean's somewhat shut it off, but put it on after the fact. Dave's done very well to adjust to what Dean has been doing in front of him as they come around out of zone 3 to 4 and across the finish line.
The separation though was caused by how messy the initiation was from Dean Young. It looked like he was almost understeering forward past the point of initiation. You'll pick it up here on the replay. See how that car's actually straight through the cones. So we saw earlier that basically somebody was deemed not to have initiated, and it makes you think from that perspective that potentially the call could go that way. Because from there, that is what the separation is. Dave is sitting, waiting kind of for something to happen so his run doesn't unfold. And you might be right here, Keisuke. This might be the right strategy from Dave Steadman, because the advantage he now has is Dave Steadman's got a lot of power. He's got a reliable car. If he starts to run out of tyre, the emphasis falls back on the chase driver to make sure they don't make contact with him. He can position his car and drive kind of as fast or aggressively as he wants to within the confines of what tyre he's got left available to him. So I think it's good. Yeah, it's good strategy from Dave. Yeah,
I've been enjoying seeing how the drivers and teams are trying to choose what is the best strategic move for them as the high qualifier to whether choose to lead or to chase. It's been very interesting to see how people play these things out as they come back into the start line there. Link ECU start box as Dave is in the lead this time with Dean Young in the chase.
Josh from Mike Thorley's team confirming that they broke the hub clean off at the bottom, so that is why they are done. And now, is it a little slow roll there? Are there some games being played here?
Yeah, whether he's out of tyre or he's trying to make it work as they come into outer zone 1. Dave's done a very good run there as they switch into outer zone 2. Dean's starting to catch up with him as he comes into outer zone 3 and 4. Lost in the smoke a little bit as Dave gets on the loud pedal and finishes the run.
I think that was Dave again showing what I would call racecraft there. So no attempt at kind of the rolling burnout type entry, just kind of waited till he needed to and then jumped on the loud pedal, knew that he had grip, got his initiation where he wanted it to be, and then from there it was a case of Dino Young, come and get me, which Dean did pretty well there, Keisuke. I thought he emulated quite nicely there. The proximity's not too bad there, and then you see Dave jumps back on the gas there, ups the tyre speed, and then Dean, I think, maybe didn't expect quite as much tyre smoke to come towards him. You talked about it earlier, the conditions here, blowing the smoke back hard at the chase car, and you saw sort of Dean just lost that proximity at that point in time and created a slight separation there. So
yeah, as you pop out that smoke from the last outer zone there, that's where, you know, you can't actually see the car as you transition through that smoke, so you really kind of have to have your sensors on you to understand where that lead car is.
Yeah, Dean hasn't lost drift by any means, but he's just had to adjust where he's driving, and it's caused him to go back towards the inside of the track. So interesting to see how our three wise men call that one. Including, I shouldn't keep saying three wise men, right? Because it is Dangerous Dave getting the call.
Okay, I want to hear positive vibes from you now, mate. But I got to ask you first of all, the decision to do the chase first. What was that about?
It's following over from yesterday. We're so high in the tyre pressures, up in the 40s, that by the second lap they've blown up so much that you got even less grip. So it's just a strategy. Luckily we qualified high, so we're allowed to choose, and it's paying off.
Okay, you're in the form saying no more. Not going to put any mock on you. Go get it.
That's the one. Thanks, mate.
Dean Young, first year, remember, in pro after being the Pro Sport champion. Okay, tell me what you feel.
I just couldn't get it to initiate on my lead run. Gave it another stab and got into it then. So yeah, that didn't help my cause. And then just gave it my best on the chase. But yeah, wicked driver to chase, so made it a bit easier. It was fun.
I'm looking forward to seeing this hurling down the main straight at Pukekohe into that corner.
I don't know if I am, man.
Go and think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dean's right there. Pukekohe is a very, very daunting course, and especially in a brand new car. Be interesting to see how he goes as we go into the next battle.
This is going to get wild.
Yeah,
This
Braden Mayer,
I don't know
Sean Potros in the chase. So let's see as they come out the chicane. Braden does a very good initiation there. Sean's right there in the pocket as they come into the switch and out of zone 2. Sean's still there, kind of lost in the smoke, but he's making it work as Braden does a very, very good lead. Sean going a little bit wide there and maybe off track as Braden does a very good lead.
I like that. I kind of knew right from the start. You could see they were both setting up for something aggressive. They're just two hard charging drivers who drive with flair. They don't hold anything back. You kind of knew Braden was going to throw it, right? But you knew that Sean was going to pop out in that smoke as well and be pretty close there. So a nice run here from both drivers. And then I think they've sort of just got towards the end of the run here, and Sean's just come up the track there, got lost in the smoke and drifted up, and yeah, at least one wheel off, if not two. So advantage potentially Braden Mayer.
100%. The young gun showing what he has in the lead there. The judges kind of deliberating, just making sure that they've got all the points there as they slow-mo the third outer zone, coming into the fourth outer zone there.
It shows the difference in the way that Sean attacks a run compared to other drivers, because he stayed wide and just stayed in it. Like, there wasn't any thought to kind of dive down the track or get out of the gas or anything. Sean's just, oh, well, I'm here, I'm committed, I'm just gonna stomp on the gas and see what happens. So yeah, they'll switch over now, and it will be there'll be a bit of pressure on young Braden here to go with what he knows is going to be a fast and unpredictable run from Sean, and it wouldn't surprise me to see Sean throw that really big angle that he's known for here, and maybe just display that extra couple of years experience that he's got, just to see how Braden reacts to it. They'll roll off the line here and they'll jump on the gas, and both of them, I imagine, will hook it up pretty quickly. You see Sean's car bobbing, weaving, ducking, diving. It's up on three wheels. It's bouncing around. Plenty gripped up there. It's plenty fast. And Braden Mayer did exactly what I thought he was going to. And that's kind of what I said was going to happen, mate. Like, it was the big switch out. I don't know that it was fully to like the whole 80-90 degree angle that like maybe I thought it was going to be, but it certainly did come across, and I think Braden Mayer probably was wondering a little bit what was going to happen there.
As you can see in the GT Radio replay, Sean's car just absolutely popping wheels in the front there, gripped up, putting all the weight on the rear as they go into outer zone 3, and then outer zone 3, 2, 4. This is where it goes a little bit pear-shaped for Braden, getting lost in the smoke, and I think he tried to tuck into Sean there, but misjudged where he was and couldn't get on throttle fast enough. So it'd be interesting, because I think looking at Sean's lead and Braden's lead, they're both pretty good.
Is there a dirt drop there from Sean in the lead?
Potentially.
It's really hard to tell. So just to clarify for the viewing audience, the judges do have a slightly different set of camera angles that they can request that we can't see. So it's not shown on the broadcast, but the judges do have, I believe it's up to 20 angles available to them to adjudicate and make decisions. And that's why you'll hear us sometimes go to them and ask why they've called things the way they did. I think there is at least a flirting with the edge of outer zone 2 there from Sean in his lead run. It's just a question of, has it gone off, or was it what we were talking about before with Fanger, where maybe it's spent exhaust gases? I don't know where the exit of the exhaust is on the Potros car. They'll come around and roll up to Mr. McIvor, who will decision them. It's either a wild young man from Taranaki or a wild man from Amokaroa. That is Braden.
Little sigh of relief on that one.
Oh man, that was, he's one of the best, most entertaining drivers. Just try to stick with him, and yeah, paid off obviously.
Yeah mate, you're in at the 4, that's the most important thing. How do you feel at that moment?
I feel awesome, I feel pumped up, I'm ready.
Okay, go get pumped up. Awesome battle, right?
Yeah, no, Braden's a wicked driver. Summer Bash a couple of years ago when I gave him some semis to jump up, like he proved his point and was on the podium there. So it was a wicked battle. Sort of got lost on the last corner and went off. So that's probably all she wrote. But a massive thanks to all our sponsors, partners, the D1 crew, everyone that made it happen. It was sick.
You're a good man. We'll send Pookie.
Yeah, well, we'll do.
No, well done to Braden Mayer. Wow.
I bet you Stephen McIvor's never been called Bowl in his life.
I think he loved it.
I think he did love it. I think he's a man of the people, is Mr. McIvor. So interesting here that Connor Halligan has effectively been forced into a 5-minute call because James is sitting on the line and Connor Halligan has had to take his 5. So that means I don't believe we can move into our next battle, which would be Sam Edinburgh, Justin Patterson, because James has effectively moved to stage. So we have the Battle of Tauranga on one side. It is effectively we'll call them the current generation, Dangerous Dave Steadman, against Braden Mayer, the emerging generation of Tauranga drifters. And I think it's fitting to mention to Keisuke how we have seen that migration of a lot of the drift talent. Used to be all from Northland, right?
Yes.
It used to be
Whangarei.
Everyone came out of Whangarei, like Drift Corp. We've mentioned a number of times the Drift Corp is home to the most champions within the series, but then obviously Tauranga now a stronghold of drifting with the likes of two-time champion Cole Armstrong, you got Dave, you got Adam, you got the whole RHP squad, you got young Braden and Z coming through, the Mayors. So, and my apologies if I missed anyone else. I'm sure Sam West and Kurt Blackie will be horrified that I didn't mention them along with Stocky. There's just so much talent now coming out of that Tauranga region, and there's a reason that our Bay Park round is so popular. Now, I want to just ask you a question because you are a friend of Dean Young's.
Yes.
Is he playing a mind game? Is he actually genuinely concerned around Pukekohe, or is that just Dean's quiet confidence? Because he strikes me as quite a calculated type driver?
No, 100%. I think Dean, obviously being in that S15, it is brand new to him. I don't think he's actually driven Pukekohe before, so it's one of those tracks. Obviously, if you haven't driven there, you really understanding that sense of speed going onto that front straight and into that first sweeper is something else. So it's something that you really have to experience for yourself, and it is very, very daunting as a driver. So that's probably where he's coming from. He doesn't want to be overconfident in one of those situations. So yeah, no, fair enough to Dean. I'm hoping, yeah, he does well there too.
Yeah, he's certainly a man with a lot of support. It's one of the things I have noted since coming back last year. The young drift whānau is pretty widely spread. There's a lot of support for Dean from throughout New Zealand and also from Australia and also, oddly enough, from South Africa.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think his wife is South African.
Ah, that's the link. And the young,
yeah. The little fella, little big fella.
Yeah, he's got a cheeky wee grin on him, hasn't he? He's got that from his father, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, here we go. McManaway and Halligan about to unleash, and it is Connor Halligan as the higher qualifier choosing to lead away. I think probably a smart strategy from him. He's definitely the quicker of the two cars, but if you're going to say who's the more aggressive driver, oddly enough, versus Connor, I'd almost say it's James, because James definitely doesn't hold back. James Superstock McManaway is not afraid to put it right on and in your door, but he's got to catch him first.
Yeah, Connor's off. He's going into outer zone 2. James doing a very good job trying to catch up with Connor there as they come into outer zone 3 and 4. And yeah, Connor doing a very, very good lead there, and James doing very well to keep up with Connor.
But considering how fast Connor Halligan took off, I mean this with great respect to our boss man, this is the best I've seen him drive. I haven't seen James just flow and look fast like this over the past few years. Like
100%.
He's just dialed. Like
there might be a few upgrades in that Barnfine R32 that we're not hearing about.
Secret sauce, you reckon? Do you reckon do you reckon it's a Barnfine with a billet block too?
Could be.
Do you reckon that would be a turn up for the books? She's a barn build with a billet block on it.
Took a leaf out of Dangerous Dave's book.
Yeah, Luke can drop that one on the podium later too. Yeah, James is. Yeah, no, we shouldn't say things like that because somebody will hear us say that and they'll say, oh, yeah, it's true. But I'm sure she probably is still a cast iron Nissan block
in the barn find machine, and probably whatever turbo they could scramble and put on that thing after it let go on Friday, because it qualified in, eh? Yeah, that was a bit odd to watch. It was
actually really cool. They just took the cartridge and front compressor housing off and put a steel plate and bolted it on and drove. So
we've just the ultimate number 8 wire team. We've seen cable ties used as a fan belt and just bolt up the turbo. I mean, it's why don't you just stuff a tennis ball in it and duct tape over it?
That's actually not a bad idea.
Would that work? I'm not a mechanical person. I don't have any idea. Would that work? What would that do? Probably get sucked in and spat back out. Here we go. James McManaway will have the lead this time for JDM Racing. Connor Halligan for Hog Haulage Limited, the current second place driver in our series. He does need to stay in the fight to stay in touch with Dave Steadman, who we know is already locked into the top 4. And James McManaway is not making things easy for him here. James McManaway has certainly found some speed. And Connor Halligan, is he going to have... Oh! Halligan, where did he go?
He's gone off.
Did he drill the door?
Not sure.
Did he drill the door? Connor's gone straight ahead and the front bumper's off. So there's been contact there. I wonder if that steering bound up again, because that wheel was sitting on a very odd angle. I think, you used the term overspeed a few times, Keisuke, and he was closing at a rapid rate of knots, and then it's just ended up in a strange position with the front bumper folded under the car. Now, that may have happened because of just hitting the gravel trap at speed.
Yeah, let's watch the GT radio replay here. I mean, James has done very good here in out of zone 1 to 2. Connor, same thing. On the switch there very well, but he's lost a little bit of proximity there as he tries to catch up to James coming into out of zone 4, and he might have been on the
James
left
is still at angle.
Yeah, James is still there, whereas Connor may have caught up to him too fast.
Do you know what I'm wondering? You know how he was talking about yesterday, the car was overheating. I wonder if it's overheated and shut down and getting close.
Potentially, yeah. 100%.
And that would take all the power out of it, and then that would in turn make the steering go heavy.
Again, I mean, these cars have been through war, right? I mean, Connor didn't actually have a working radiator at midnight last night, and he's just got it going for today.
It's just weird, and because of the angle, it's hard to tell where that's occurred as well, because we can see that inside cone, which I believe denotes the end of the section, but that's probably the start of it. The cone is, the actual zone is marked out on the outside of the track. So given where he's ended up, was he still under control? Was he still under drift through the end of the section? I don't think we've got the right view at the moment. It's kind of like one of those things where you go with the on-field decision because there isn't enough evidence to overturn something one way or the other. It's entertaining and it's spectacular and it's fast, and hey, we'll wait and see what the result is here for Connor. With the way Connor interviews, I think we'll know pretty quickly what's happened. He is pretty brutally honest when it comes to just saying what's happened in the moment.
Whether it was the car or him.
Yeah, I still think something's happened here with the car, and I think I do wonder if it has shut down on him and caused him to go straight ahead. What we can't see because of how the smoke lines are blurred there is whether there's still acceleration from Connor, right? It does look like
Connor has definitely made impact with James there. As you can see, JDM Racing door covered in black.
But that's all right, because it's a barn car.
It loves it.
Yeah, there is absolutely no truth in us speculating that it has got a billet engine, and we're just making it up on the spot, just because James seems to have found another gear and is just stepping up. And I'll tell you what, things are going to get wild if we get McManaway and we get either Sam Edinburgh or let's go to Stephen.
Well, James McManaway, you look like you've come out of that one good in essence, but the car hasn't.
Yeah, well, I'm good, but the car's a wee bit shaken, I'd probably say, at this point of view.
Well, we couldn't see the smoke, but you look like you've had a really good whack from Connor.
Connor came in hot, but I just left it flat down, foot into it, and away we go.
Is that you saying to Warren Sare, I can drive these things?
Yeah, I told you, Warren, I'm coming.
You think the judges will throw it your way?
Well, I don't know. Hopefully they can see the hit in the video, because as you can see, the side of the car's gone.
Is this the barn find?
This is the original barn find.
So. All right, we'll just have to wait and see what the judges say. Shouldn't be too far away. Oh, hang on, here comes Connor. Okay, let's get out of the way and see what happens. Okay. Connor Halligan gets the win. Okay. I just heard you say you didn't know what happened.
Oh, yeah, it all happened so fast, right? All I know is came through the smoke, got back on gas, and then, yeah, just went into James, and yeah, it was a pretty big impact. Next thing I'm in the gravel, and there's dust everywhere, so I don't know.
All right, hop back in the car, get ready. Come on, we've got things to go. Reaction to the result?
No, it is what it is. Racing's racing, so here we are.
That'll do, let's move.
Thank you, Stephen. And my apologies, James, if I hurt your feelings. Now, speaking of hurt feelings, judges, it seems like you may have hurt some in the course of that decision. So some clarity there, Darren Kelly, as to how you have adjudicated the way you have in favour of Connor Halligan. Oh, sorry, it's Andrew Redwood.
Slight advantage in his lead, and then coming into the lead of James. James did a great lead run. He had a bit of understeer push at OZ3, but it wasn't like a bad thing. When they actually made contact was after the chase car obligation finished. It was after the slip road, and James continued on. It was unfortunate the contact was made because it was unnecessary, but in our eyes it didn't affect the actual judging. James did a good lead, Connor did a good chase, and it really just went back to the advantage from the first run plus the slight advantage from the second run too.
Awesome, thank you, Andrew. That makes a lot of sense to us and hopefully to the viewers as well. Obviously, the impact happened after the finish.
Yeah, that's the key. Yeah, the key part to take out of that is the cars were outside the zone. So that was what we did reference, where we couldn't see quite where the demarcation was. The contact, as pointed out, was after the zone, and James obviously felt like he was still in it, and he still was, but he was just taking advantage of being the boss. Yeah. He could drive, he just needs to stop driving where he's supposed to. Even though he's the boss.
He did well.
Alrighty, so let's move now to the other top 8 battle. Sam Edinburgh. Does he go through to the 4, or does Justin Patterson? Either of them, it will be their best result in D1NZ Pro competitions. So here we go, MTF's Justin Patterson against VIP Structural Steels.
Justin comes into outer zone 1, very deep in outer zone 2. Sam's trying to get back on Justin's door, but unfortunately left a little bit behind there. Justin's car very, very gripped up.
Yeah, and Sam Edinburgh seems to be struggling to carry angle in the chase position. Like he's adopting a very shallow approach through one when he's in the chase position, like just trying to reel in that car. It's almost like in the past we've sort of said maybe a little bit too much horsepower for those guys, but it's almost like he maybe needs a little bit more either power or grip just to run with maybe some of these top cars. And then a mistake there from Sam Edinburgh in the chase position in terms of just running slightly wide there, wider than he needed to be.
Yeah, Justin's actually doing a very good job in outer zone 1 to 2 there, and this is where it kind of goes wrong for Sam as he goes a little bit mid-track and misses outer zone 3, trying to catch up with Justin there, but not making it as much as he wanted to, I think.
Well, apparently we missed out a quick little shout out to Jeff Jones on behalf of the boss man James, so thank you to Jeff and his team for accommodating James over there as part of Hot Pit, and I think the boys checked out SEMA and did a couple of other things, which is all leading us of course into Pukekohe in February. Valentine's. You got any plans for Valentine's Day, mate?
Pukekohe.
Yeah, you're going to spend it with me. How unfortunate is that?
Could be worse.
Oh, could be worse. Could be worse. Not much, but that's what we're going to be doing for the weekend. Hopefully you're going to join us as well. Benny offered up a hot lap. Maybe if you're doing a bit of driving on Sunday, maybe you want to put someone in a passenger seat too, maybe, mate? Yeah, I know you only want to spend 2 days talking to me, not 3, so that's okay. That's okay, my feelings aren't hurt. I'm only able to talk, I'm not able to drive, so who knows what I'll be doing. Here we go with the other side of this battle between Sam Edinburgh and Justin Patterson. Now over to Sam Edinburgh to try and put his stamp on this battle, but JP looks pretty dialed, Kenny, in terms of he just looks like he's mongrel. He's just aggressive and just he wants to put a stamp on this, and he's almost gonna. I thought he was gonna try and go for a pass to the inside there, but dialed just back enough just to not exceed the. It's the beepler, isn't it?
Yes, correct. I mean, Sam's done a very, very good run there in the lead, allowing Justin to come in. So as we watch the GT Radio replay here, Sam doing a very good job in outer zone 1. Justin just seeing what Sam does realistically as he comes into here out of zone 2 to 3. Good switch, but a little bit early for Justin there as he tries to tuck in and go across the line. So yeah, good clean lap from the both of them.
Yeah, I think both, as we mentioned a couple of times, I think the VIP boys can certainly be very proud of themselves. They've acquitted themselves very well down here at what effectively is their home event, with Ruapuna closed off to everybody at the moment. So making a good fist of things with this time it's a switch of yesterday. So Sam to the 8 and Dan out in the 16. I think it'll be JP goes through. And I think, interestingly enough, that may almost mean that we have what I would assume to be our youngest pro sport competitor, and if it is true, and Justin told me this himself, I don't know if it is true, but I think he is potentially the oldest competitor in the D1NZ pro field, and he was quite proud of that fact.
He does pretty well considering. Yeah. Age was really just a number.
He looks like a young man.
He does.
He's very youthful in appearance. So here we go. Stephen's going to give us a dessert. JP! Justin Patterson through.
Into the 4.
Yeah, I've gotten a bit lucky today, not the way I wanted to do it. You know, I had 2 buys to get into this, and one of them being my teammate Rody. Honestly, I want to cry for the guy. He's spent so much time, money, effort to get that campaign going, and then to go out that way with a blown motor. Kind of putting a dampener on my day, but I'll do my best to put a smile on all our faces.
Go get ready for the 4. All right, just quickly. Been a good weekend.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend. Justin drove like an absolute champion there. His lead was mint, so yeah, I'm stoked with how today's played out and bring on the next round.
Looking forward to seeing you there, mate.
200.
200.
All the boys are throwing out that big number, aren't they? The target has been set, Keisuke. Now, can you do 200 on 205s?
I can give it a go. I can do that much. Well, at Hampton Downs at Club Circuit, I'm about 175 kilometres on a GPS speedo, so I'm getting there.
Because you're not rusty, right? You have been doing a bit of driving?
Yeah, just in America, we've done a couple of runs there, but they have been smaller tracks, so it'll be interesting to see how I can do in a fast-paced course here, like Teretonga and Pukekohe. But one of those things, you know, it's just keen to get back into the hot seat.
You weren't at hot pit though with James, were you?
I was. I was spotting.
But you were doing something else. Super D. Yeah. Alrighty. So this is Dave Steedman employing the same strategy again. Dangerous Dave versus Braden Mayer. We need to come up with it. We need a cool nickname for Braden, because we've got Z is the beekeeper now, right? She's the assassin, just like Jason Statham in the movie. Braden needs a cool nickname now too. Let us know if you can come up with one. I think he is called Nightmare in boxing circles, yes. So it's probably quite fitting. So Nightmare Drift
comes into the initiation out of zone 1. Dave doing a very good job.
Was there contact?
As Braden comes in out of zone 3 through to the finish, Dave.
Well, the question is,
very dangerous.
Was there contact, and then has Dave put a wheel off the inside afterwards? Is he correct?
He was definitely going for him, wasn't he? So let's watch the GT Radio replay here as Braden goes into outer zone 1, goes for the switch, and Dave, I think, just missed, but really misjudged that switch back into outer zone 2 to 3 as they come around the 4 into the finish. So leaving a bit of a gap between him and Braden.
So yeah, just to confirm, the team is called Nightmare. So Braden is effectively the Nightmare. So we've got the Nightmare and the Beekeeper out of the Mare stable. Young Z, that we saw earlier today, and dangerous, living dangerously.
He is.
He's put the pressure on himself. Is his strategy to chase going to pay off, or is it potentially going to bite him? Because Braden Mayer hasn't held back, and he certainly is not going to be afraid to put it on the rear bumper of the Mimico Hydrolink machine. Vehicle Servicing Centre on the roof. That is Dave's business there in Tauranga. If you want your vehicle serviced in a fast and friendly manner, then go and see Dave and the team for your vehicle servicing needs. Napa on the front, as well as we also have it's NMT Shipping, one of their other backers, and the graphic schemes designed by the team at AWS Graphics. Link ECU, long-term backer as well of that team.
Dave's high-strung car and Adam's high-strung rotary certainly put the Link ECU hardware to the test. That is the Link ECU start zone. Again, thank you to all of our partners for the weekend as we check out the Link ECU start zone. GT Radio, our official replay sponsor. Logitech, who are sponsoring our eSIM series. Smik sponsor the Exit and sponsored the Hard Park yesterday. Bimiko sponsoring VIP, and Ting Tools are our podium sponsor with that big toolkit worth $8,900. So I thank you to all of our partners, and we'll throw Smart Steel in there too as well. Put it in the team, our official recovery sponsor. So off the line they roll, Keisuke, and call it through, my friend.
Yeah, right. As Dave Steedman is in the lead this time. Braden on the chase as Dave comes around to outer zone 1. Does a very, very good job there. Braden on the inside a little bit, waits for that switch, and Dave doing a good job there, going to outer zone 2 and 3. Braden sticking very close to him up till outer zone 4 and through to the finish. So
it's going to be another tough one for the judges to call. There's a couple of different things going on there. Really will depend how they maybe view that first run of Dave's.
yeah, I mean, Dave's put on a really, really good lead line here, so it really will depend.
Was there an understeer there from Braden? Just in the smoke?
Could be a little bit of a bobble there, I think. Just an adjustment, and again there as he goes across the line. So
you know it's getting tough when Darren Kelly's had to stand up and view. Maybe his eyes are getting tight. I mean, Darren's getting a bit older these days, so maybe just needs to get closer to the screen. Still looks youthful with his hat backwards though.
It does.
Andrew looks like he's pretty confident in what he's seeing. Darren's definitely looking for something there. Tay looks like he's just considering and collecting his thoughts. Yeah, I think just like you and I, Keisuke, there's just a couple of things going on in each run, and it's kind of ultimately they need to get to the root cause of each of those incidents.
Correct.
And from there, everything kind of falls into place, and depending on how you decide those things have happened, that kind of changes the dynamic of the entire rest of the run. So in the meantime, Connor Halligan and Justin Patterson are waiting. So Connor Halligan currently second on points. Justin Patterson's going to jump up the table here with his first appearance in the top 4. So JP's pretty excited there and doing it for MTF Cambridge, and great to see him back out there. Okay, so told that the DSO system has been enacted, which means that Joel Counter has had an input here too, wanting to make sure that the judges are aware of everything that has occurred on a run. So sounds like, yeah, just casting eyes over the first run. So this is Dave in the chase, and this is probably looking to see if there was contact there, and if that ultimately has meant that is why Dave has potentially put a wheel off there. That's what you would see out of that one there. So yeah. Did he run a wheel off? So it didn't seem like it upset Braden's run at all.
But it may come down to what happened with Braden in the lead, determining whether if Dave was adjusting to that and making him go offline.
Right, so you're thinking why he's closed at such a rate of knots onto the rear. So let's have a look. Are they looking to see, looking to see if there's a decel maybe?
Potentially, yeah. Or an adjustment. I don't know what they would call it, but it's very, very hard to tell why Dave would go into that position where he was.
What was the instruction from the judges as you switched through there? Were you entitled to make an adjustment, or should you have been on full throttle?
I think a minor adjustment is okay, but a decel is very, very hard, will be punished very hard.
Right.
So they're still looking at the DSO system just on that first switch there, and they'll do a side-by-side between the two runs here. Dave in the lead on the right-hand side and Braden in the lead on the left-hand side.
So they are quite similar, aren't they? I think Braden's chase is probably the better of the two, but the question is just why has Dave potentially been impacted on his chase run? And that'll be what it comes down to for our 3 judges up there. I'm quite glad to be sitting here with you, Keisuke, instead of being one of those 3 wise men, because as they're fond of saying, one thinks you're right and everyone else thinks you're wrong. Call is Braden Mayer.
I'm going to keep this short. We're time dependent. You get the chance to win a round. How does that feel?
Awesome, over the moon.
Mate, that's twice. You better get those nerves under control.
Will do.
They took a while to make that decision. How do you think the result is for you?
Yeah, I'd like to look at some more information into that. I'm not totally happy. I know I'm normally happy, but I feel like he slowed down before the transition, and that's what caused the contact there. But
I think there was talk of decel.
Yeah, so we'll definitely be looking into that. Yeah, not super happy, to be honest, so we'll see what happens.
All right, get out of here.
He hasn't really been happy all day, though, has he, Keisuke? Like, he's not happy, Dave, today. We're going to go check out some quick commercial messages, and we'll be back with the other half of the top four, Connor Halligan and Justin Patterson. Back with you shortly.
Black Friday is back at Link ECU. 12% off plug-in ECUs, wire-in ECUs, Razor PDM, and we got 12% off select accessories. 15% off the G5 Voodoo Pro ECU, and this sale is going to be running from November 3rd to November 28th, so don't miss out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the D1NZ National Drifting Championship round number 2 here from Teretonga. Warren Sare on the commentary with Keisuke Nagashima, and we are deep into the battle tree. Keisuke, we have Connor Halligan to run against Justin Patterson, looking for a spot in the final against the first-time finalist, the young man, the nightmare, Braden Mayer, and then I'm going to now rename him Disappointed Dave Steadman, or Angry Dave Steadman, who will go for 3rd and 4th place. A frustrated Dave, maybe not quite in agreement with the judges on that last call, but the results have fallen the way that they have, and we await to see who battles the young man respectively and who battles Dangerous Dave for 3rd and 4th place. Steadman at the moment potentially still tops the points tree, depending on what happens with Connor Halligan. If Connor Halligan maybe gets the event win, then he could potentially leap right up the table. But I'm going to take a couple of looks at some incidents from earlier in the day. We are looking at here, this is the big impact, I think. Oh, so that's a very different view than what we saw, Keisuke. Yeah, so that makes things a lot clearer. So we did have an explanation on that before. The judges ruled that
it was after the finished cone, so realistically the impact happened afterwards. It didn't count as part of the drift judged part. I mean, if you look at it here, he hit the rear first, then the front, so hence why there was a big dent in James's door. But yeah, it happening after the finish line doesn't count.
Yeah, so both drivers must remain in control through the finish zone, which they both did. James McManaway, you would have heard say in his interview that he was still foot flat, which he was, but he had continued drifting after the conclusion of the section. Connor did the same thing, and effectively then the contact has happened. So look, I think while in the heat of the moment there might be some frustrations maybe, as James have said, racing's racing, and I don't think there'll be too much further said about that one. I'm not sure about the other one, to be fair. Contestable potentially, but look, we don't really run the G-meter type setup here that maybe some other series has run, so the judges, I believe, are pretty unanimous and united in their call that young Braden has gone through to the final, the Nightmare, and that was certainly popular. We heard a
lot of cheering.
Yeah, you and I are in the commentary box, and we're sort of located about, we're probably 50 to 100 metres from the dummy grid where everything goes down, and we heard the reaction in real time as well. So nice to see plenty of fan support for young Braden, and who knows, we could have a first-time winner here with JP still in the fight as well. Connor Halligan's held the trophy aloft before, but Braden Mayer and Justin Patterson still potentially to get their first D1NZ win, and actually for Justin or so for Braden, that's going to be the first time on the podium regardless. Yes. So he's overachieved already today, and he's on the top. The worst he can finish is second. All right, Joe with our broadcast colleague Benny.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hi, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
We've got Ben Jenkins here. After a stellar performance and coming through qualifying 5th on Friday, you've gone out in the top 16.
Yeah, unfortunately had a little whoopsie there on the last turn following Sean Potros. He's so fast. Unfortunately, he's just been knocked out in the top 8 by the talented Braden Mayer, but he's just so fast through the section. I was playing catch-up, got a little bit lost in the smoke, and came up to his side of the car on the outer zone 3. And unfortunately I had to bail out, otherwise it was going to be pretty heavy contact. So bit of a yard sale, the old S15 Origin Labo, thank you for sponsoring me. We're going to need a new body kit next week to get it to Summer Bash, but yeah, unfortunately my beautiful car, it is what it is though, you know, we're pushing so hard out there. These cars are so fast now, it's just part of the game.
Right, and you're obviously feeling super comfortable back in an S chassis. Do you think you'll ever go back?
I don't think so. The package you have right here is exactly what you need to just focus on your driving and be competitive. You see Connor up behind us there, same sort of package in an S14 chassis. They're just amazing chassis to drive and focus on competing.
Yeah, it's looking unbeatable.
Thank you, Joe. Great job down there over rounds 1 and 2, bringing us all sorts of information and insights from pit lane. Ben Jenkins, philosophical Keisuke, was pretty pumped yesterday, but went out earlier than expected today. As we've moved through a pretty fast and furious top 16, things are a little bit slow burn to get underway to start with, but we're definitely down at the business end of proceedings now with one half of our final set. Justin and Connor are ready to face the starters. What do you reckon happens here? Connor's the higher qualifier. Do you reckon he'll lead or chase? He's been pretty quick, right?
Yeah, so I think he might choose to lead, which is what he's been doing up till now. I think the reason for that, there's a lot of grip in those tyres, so he's probably going to try and get away from Justin. He knows Justin's car is very gripped up and very fast anyway. Actually,
Justin's a madman.
I've been corrected. I think he's chose to chase first.
So so race control telling you that? Is
No, I think just how they're lined up there.
Right, okay.
Is it right on the...
Oh, I think they have. I don't think they've scrubbed yet, so I think they've still got to go into scrub, and then they have to make a decision from the scrub box. Connor has up to 60 seconds to decide whether he wants to lead or chase, and if he hasn't moved into position after 60 seconds, then Justin Patterson is entitled to effectively drive to where he wants to go. So, yeah, it's an interesting little psychology play, and it's added a different dynamic to rounds 1 and 2, and I really like it. The fact that we've sort of seen different things from Dave and Adam and a few other drivers. I think Pukekohe is going to be very similar, where we might see drivers potentially choose to chase, although the idea of chasing at Pukekohe scares me. I do think you probably want to get the advantage early there, because you don't want to be running the risk of being low on tyre if, for instance, you get gapped off the line and have to use up rubber on maybe sort of a rolling burnout type thing then yeah, that could get pretty scary pretty fast.
Yeah, Pukekohe, I mean, even from qualifying, it's going to be really exciting to watch, right? I mean, that's really going to set the pace for the rest of the round. And coming into battles, that will be the deciding factor.
Tickets are moving fast, by the way, so jump onto D1NZ.com to secure your V and VVIP tickets for that event. There are only limited numbers of grandstand seats available, otherwise you'll be watching from a slightly lower to the ground view. You'll still be able to see, you'll still be able to enjoy things, and you'll feel, hear and smell the smoke, but you just won't have that elevated view that is available from the grandstand there, and there's a real nostalgia vibe.
Yeah, there is.
I brought it up in the interview I did with Stephen McIvor, where I talked about being in the top of the grandstand, surrounded by thousands of fans, talking about things like watching Cole Armstrong's first title win, talking about the first time we saw a 200k an hour run. I think back to someone else brought up the fact that Gaz Wider came out of retirement and did 182k an hour in the rain, battling Darren Kelly, and nobody else was going over 140. There's just phenomenal things going on. But
I'll take it back a little bit further back. I actually remember watching Andrew Redwood in his C33 Laurel.
He doesn't like talking about this, does he? I don't think you're allowed to talk about. No, you're not allowed to talk about this on here. But it's on the ad. Yeah. It is on the ad.
It was great to watch.
Okay. Andrew's Laurel ended up inverted.
Kickflipping.
Yeah. Yes. I was inverted, to quote Top Gun.
But yeah, Pukekohe really brings back some memories. It was one of the first courses that I went for a passenger lap with a driver in 2004 called Andy Chewy, who used to be part of Full Counter.
Full Counter, yeah. Built the orange S14.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Did that get shipped to Japan or China? Yeah. I think it did leave New Zealand shores about 2006, 2007 after a full rebuild. So here we go with Connor Halligan taking the lead, Justin Patterson in the chase. I'm actually expecting a very aggressive chase here from Justin. I don't think he can afford... Oh, Connor hits the cone again. That's the second time today.
He loves that cone.
He has just hit that cone.
Oh, Justin.
Justin, but I think Justin's understeered there, but the question just becomes, was Connor's initiation at all impactful on Justin's chase run? And I don't know without seeing a replay. We'll take a look at the GT Radio replay here.
Yeah, Connor's hit those cones again, but he's done very well there to get into outer zone one.
Justin's gone straight to the
inside.
inside.
He's gone to the inside just to try and keep on Connor's door there as he goes back onto the inside, into the switch as Connor's gone out to the outer zone 4 and across the finish line. So, I mean, to be honest, Justin's done quite well, tried to keep up with Connor. Connor's done a very good lead line there. So, I mean, really, where the advantage might be is line dependent and angle.
Yeah, so to Justin's credit, he has basically listened to what the judges said about, well, if you need to go to an inside line to make it a good, close, exciting battle, then go and do that. Don't fall into the trap of being 6 car lengths back and trying to drive to a qualifying run. He's putting on a battle, he's putting on a show, and you can't fault that. So that is the aggression that Justin has brought to his driving this weekend, and it's great to see him here in the top 4, potentially on the cusp of his best possible result. And I'm just going to have a quick look here. So yeah, so Justin needs a win in order to potentially make the podium. If we end up in the time certain type format, he may still get a chance to battle Dave Steadman regardless, but I'm just not sure what's going to happen with time certainty potentially here at Teretonga. At this point, we're being told that we will still run 3 and 4, but that could change quite rapidly depending on how things play out. So here we go, switching over now.
Justin Patterson in the lead, Connor Halligan in the chase as we go into the first chicane. Justin playing a little bit slow there, I think. He knows Connor's car is very fast as they come into outer zone 1. Connor's really late into that initiation there as Justin goes away, full angle, full lock, and straightens out, shuts it down as they both come around to the final corner. But, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, a very messy lap from the pair of them.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for Justin. It looked really aggressive till then, and then there was just that big waver out front. I just wonder if it is getting late in the day. As we've pointed out a couple of times, it's getting really hard on these cars. It's getting maybe to a point where Justin just wound so much lock into that. I think he had to come out of that because I think it was going to over-rotate on him. So the judges will have taken note of that, and that will be, you would think, at least a significant deduction there, Keisuke?
Yeah, I think they're going to have a discussion regardless, because I mean it depends on what Connor has done there in the chase and the initiation there. He's really kind of gone straight line. Late.
So you're thinking zeroed, so then we'd be
potential zero, and then
but then we go back to the first run. Connor wasn't. Yeah, Connor was pretty solid.
He was
on his lead run, so there's probably enough there to decision off one battle, even if we had a double zeros.
And I know, I'm pretty sure the rules haven't changed in terms of the chase car being able to initiate a little bit later than where it needs to from the initiation cone. So whether that comes into play here.
Yeah, I'm genuinely not sure. We're at the point in the day where we're so deep into proceedings that I kind of just, we say things and we just talk about them in the moment, but then I don't want to keep going back to certain things because I do want the judges to just make their call based on what they're seeing. So it's not clear cut. It is a hard job, and Stephen looks like he's about to make someone's day.
Connor Halligan into the finals.
We'll keep it short and sweet. You're comfortable, and how's the car?
Yeah, car's a little bit damaged actually. It's going to be a solid rebuild before Pukekohe, but yeah, in that chase, yeah, I went to go to upper gear when I was just before entry, and I actually got a false neutral, so I had to quickly grab it again and try and get that proximity back. But yeah,
you get a chance to try and win a round for the second down in a row.
Yeah. Let's see how we go.
Thank you, mate. There you go. So Connor Halligan goes through. Excuse me, Lance. Excuse me. Thank you, mate. And Justin, well, you get a crack at third and fourth, mate.
Yeah, I do. Hey, that was pretty messy. I felt like I've had my back against the wall all day just with my driving. I'm just not gelling. But hey, I do want to just take a quick moment to thank a couple of sponsors that came on board, Link ECU and Warehouse Auto Parts in Rotorua, and obviously my business, MTF Finance Cambridge. Come and see me and Rody if you want some finance.
Mate, you are still in the hunt for a podium.
Exactly. Well, I'll give it my best shot, see if I can tidy a few things up.
Good man.
Cheers, guys.
D1NZ is coming home to Pukekohe, bringing the world's best to take on the fastest entry in the game. This is more than an event. It's a celebration of the past, a showcase of the present, and a glimpse into the future of drifting. One last chapter written at full throttle. Pukekohe, the final drift. Be there, witness history.
Well, that's going to be our Valentine's Day date, isn't it, Keisuke? Me and you just romantically in the box together at Pukekohe Park Raceway, double dating with Benny Jenkins.
Yep.
I get to double date with you both. I get one of you for Pro Sport and the other one of you for Pro. Doesn't sound so romantic when you put it that way, does it? But it's something that you could grab tickets for if you want to take your significant other, a loved one, or someone else along to the racetrack. Jump onto D1NZ.com right now. Tickets available for I think GA's available now, along with the V and VIPs, and come along and witness the final drift on Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday something a little special maybe with the internationals and a few returning familiar faces. So just getting some comms there from race control that potentially some repairs needed, but we need to clarify who's made changes so far. Might be that maybe one of the other drivers in a battle took their 5 minutes, and that's what held things up potentially. So Dave Steadman and Justin Patterson to go for third and fourth, and Braden Mayer, Connor Halligan to go for first and second, and it does sound like Connor Halligan has enacted his 5 minutes. So potential there that could be withdrew. No, is it up? It's up on jack stands.
Yeah, I mean they were having problems with the radiator all afternoon yesterday, and they were having high temp issues. So again, all the cars have been through hell and back, to be honest, Warren. It's one of those things, there's a lot of wear and tear on all components in the car, whether it be cooling, suspension, turbo, intake, you know, and we've seen a lot of motors go this weekend as well, which is unfortunate for those guys. But it's one of those things, you really have to have all the engineering, all the crews behind you to ensure that you can get back out there and put on 100%. Whether it be the car, the driver, or everything else in between. So hopefully we can get Connor back out there and up and running. We see there Genki from Japan, from Boostar, Team Reverse with the boys helping mend the radiator, I think.
We haven't done it yet thus far, but you are a fluent Japanese speaker, so if you were welcoming Genki to the country and explaining that we are in Invercargill at the bottom of the South Island, how would you describe that if you're talking to somebody from Japan about coming to Invercargill and advocating for it as a tourist destination?
I'd probably talk to him in English, to be honest, because he needs to learn it. But it's one of those things, you know, like, yeah.
How is it crossover? It's kind of crossover between both languages?
Yeah, to be honest with Genki, I talk to him in English because he does, he's here to learn English, right? It's one of those things with a lot of Japanese people coming over, they're here to experience New Zealand culture, Kiwiana.
Can I just point out to you that the last time you and I were sitting waiting for a flight,
yes,
you allowed me to sit down and talk to your friend that was with you for 5 minutes before telling me that he did not speak or understand a word of English and that he was in fact a work experience student who was over here on behalf of his company to learn about car parts.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Well, that put a smile on your face, didn't it? Yeah. Yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
There's nothing quite like someone looking blankly back at you going, I don't know what's going on. Someone who does know what's going on, Joe Maulder down there in the pits.
So we're about 2.25 minutes into Connor Halligan's 5 minutes. He's had some overheating issues this weekend and the radiator is leaking. So he's leaking water on the track. So the clerk of the course has made the call that he's got to make his car fit for competition. So he's got 5 minutes to do that.
Thank you, Joe, for giving us that quick update there. Keisuke and I just reminiscing about memories from various drift events. It's something that he and I have had the fortune of. We've sort of been around different countries. You've certainly been to more countries for drift-related purposes than I have. Do you have a favourite actually amongst like? Do you prefer the Japanese drift culture versus American or European or?
Well, I mean, yeah,
different.
I have been to New Zealand, Australia, Japan, and America for drifting, and to be honest, all of them, funnily enough, everyone's very like-minded and very similar in certain ways. The community, the drift community here is unbelievable, right? But we're all like-minded, no matter where we go. Everyone's very hospitable. America was unreal in terms of hospitality, and everyone trying to help us out. The Kiwi boys, obviously myself, and the Seas boys, Adam and Joel Hedges and Cameron. We all went over and yeah, really had a dream of a time. It was unbelievable, and same with the Japanese, to be honest. They're also the same in terms of hospitality, taking you out, put in a very good feed, a couple of beers, and a lot of driving. So no, it's been unreal. Aussie, similar to New Zealand, right? A lot of hard charges over there, a lot of fun. And yeah, no, it's been unreal to be able to experience a lot of things all over the world. But New Zealand has something special as well, and it's really good to be brought up here and experience it here too.
Yeah, the drift camaraderie is something that is constantly highlighted when anyone talks about drift culture and the fact that drivers do support each other. I'm going to point out at this point in time that, I mean, clearly Kiwis are much better than Australians generally. It's just unfortunate that Luke came across here and grabbed our title, but he did it in a Kiwi-owned car, so that makes it okay.
Yeah.
And Brodie Maher's been here before and grabbed the round win, but that's okay because Tasmania is also part of New Zealand, so that's fine. So we've adopted him as well. So. Yeah, I don't mind so much.
I actually went to Tasmania and competed in Drift League at Brodie's.
Well, how was that?
It was really fun. A lot of the guys there in Tasmania, just like us, they really want to have a good time and put on a show, and it's been really good experiencing what they have to offer over there. So Brodie really doing a good job of putting drifting in the spotlight in Tasmania.
They have a weird thing for drifting AU Falcons, though, right? It's
they love
something that we don't
really have here.
To be honest, I'm Japanese and I support any type of falcon going out drifting on the track.
On the track, yeah. I'm glad you added that, because the racetrack is certainly the place where you should be drifting, and there's plenty of drift events available to you in terms of grassroots days where you can sort of hone your skills, learn to, I guess, do everything from. I talk about Sky's Hours, arrive and drive. I throw the line, give the gift of drift for Christmas, right? Because for someone who you don't know what to get them, you can buy an arrive and drive package. It's not hard to find, right? Somebody will teach you how to do figure eights, donuts, etc. And then a lot of the drivers also probably do private days. I know Mike Thorley does some corporate stuff as well. I know you yourself participate in what's called the Drift Force days, where there are opportunities from beginner through to the very advanced type runs. So there's plenty of opportunity for you to get off the streets and onto the track, and it could be the next big thing in D1NZ potentially. So here we go. This is the 3rd and 4th place battle. Now I'm pretty sure we are going to get quite time critical here. We'll get one battle done definitely, and then into the final, you would imagine, because Connor's either going to have fixed that car or he isn't. And then Dave Steadman, Justin Patterson. By virtue of the fact that both have come to the line, that would mean that we would default to the qualifying result if we were unable to complete this, but both have rolled off the line now, so we should be able to get this one played out here. Dave again chooses the strategy of chasing, and Justin Patterson with a little bit of a point to prove, I think, after that last run there, but no, he's going to chuck that away.
And
That's led Dave off. Yeah, so Justin, a little bit. I feel like there's a little bit of overdriving this afternoon from Justin. Like, just he wants it too much.
He was trying to prove a point, but unfortunately that was a little bit too much from him there, as you called it.
Has Dave done something to the rear of the car there, or does it always sit on that much positive camber so that it sinks down?
So let's have a look here. I mean, yeah, Justin has popped the wheel and gone off, and then obviously Dave's kind of tried to follow him there.
It's the inside wheel of Dave's that I was looking at, though, so I'm just wondering if we need. No, it didn't go off the track, so it would have been something that was pre-dialed into the car and the setup. Dave's car does squat quite hard, so I imagine he is setting that up for max traction. So it does often look like they're almost on positive camber when they're just rolling around because they're not under full load, and then you get the 900 horsepower delivered to the rear wheels through the winter's diff, and it kind of sinks right down and rockets forward.
Yeah, this is one of the things that a lot of guys need to understand, is that the geometries in these cars, especially in the rear subframe and the arms, there's a lot of toe gain and camber gain depending on what setups you have. So having to, set up your cars to go positive camber, so under full compression, it goes to 0 camber to get maximum grip, or vice versa, depends on what setup you have there. So.
Yeah, and we've heard a little bit of chatter as well about the tyre pressures, right? So we know that Dave's running 40-odd PSI off the line to start with as well, so you would imagine, given the wheel speed that's being generated, that car's hitting 45, maybe 50 by the end of a second lap. So
yeah, the track surface here is very, very grippy.
It'd be like, I imagine most of us wouldn't even be able to drive that car in a straight line, I wouldn't imagine. We don't give these guys enough credit. We talk to the fact that, look, our job is to sit here and pick these things apart. That is our job, but I can't do that. You can, Keisuke, but I certainly can't, and 99.9% of people watching in live stream land wouldn't be able to either. So here we go, we're going to close this one out. It's a much better, much tidier run for both drivers here, and something to go home nice and proud of. Dave Steadman and Justin Patterson putting an exclamation point on their weekend, and I think we should have a result off that one. Keisuke, it's hard to see us needing to go to one more time off that one. We should be able to go straight to Stephen, I would imagine, for an announcement of a result on 3rd and 4th, and then we'll go straight to our 1-2 battle.
Yeah, Dave's definitely showing his experience here in the lead there, and Justin doing a very good job in following it. It really depends on how Justin's lead is being judged there, with Dave shutting off. But yeah, great runs from the both of them in their second run.
So Keisuke, just while we watch the GT radio replay and watch the wise men deliberating there, it sounds like there might be some developments in the pits. I'm just waiting for
an official confirmation, but there is potentially breaking news in the pits. I don't want to spoil anything or call anything before it officially happens. The judges just sitting there waiting to see whether they are still required. Race control doing its thing. Dave Steedman and Justin shaking hands. Stephen's about to make someone's day.
Hey boys. Dave Steedman gets the win P3 on a weekend where he won the round 1 and get your P3. It's been one of those days, but you're happy with the weekend?
Oh, we're having a lot of fun. Hey, first off, hats off to Braden. He deserved the win. I wasn't super stoked with one of the criteria, but hey, we're past that. Awesome battling with Justin. It's a shame he biffed it off on the first corner because I was looking forward to having a mean last chase, but I think it was on me, maybe on his chaser, and I had a ball. So that's what we're here for.
Okay, don't move too far because we've got a podium, because I've just heard Conor Halligan's pulled the pin, so it looks like Braden Mayer may have won his first round. Okay, weekend. You look actually satisfied and happy.
I am, because my lead, absolute rubbish, but going up against Dave, you can go full send, and I finally pieced probably my best run of the day, and yeah, I felt really, really good. I just want to say a quick hi to the missus, Jody, Kira and Sophie back at home. Miss you guys, love you, and yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday.
Congratulations on a great weekend, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
All right, so it looks like we are hearing Conor Halligan out. He'll finish P2, and we may get a bye runner, maybe a celebration run from Braden Mayer.
Yeah, we're going to call it a coronation run, Keisuke. It is a celebration of driving to the point in the weekend where young Braden Mayer, the nightmare out of Omokoroa, will put his hands on the silverware and stand on the top step for the very first time. We take a look there at the 3rd and 4th place battle as it plays out. And Keisuke, I don't see any real reason for us to talk over the top of it. Let's just let Braden Mayer, the nightmare drift machine, just sing and put an exclamation mark on the weekend. From you and I, on behalf of us, been an absolute pleasure to call the pro drifting this weekend. Thank you to the people of Invercargill, thank you to all of our sponsors, thank you to our volunteers, thank you to everyone who's been a small part of D1NZ here at Teretonga in Invercargill. I'd love to think we'll be back. I don't know when we'll be back, but we're going to just let Braden scrub this, and then I vote we just turn the thing up and just let it sing through a section. Any final comments from you before we hand over to Stephen to conclude proceedings?
No, it's been unreal having the Southern hospitality come through and just see the support for drifting down south here. So, I mean, it's been really, really good. Hopefully you guys have all enjoyed it, and we hope to see all you guys come up to Auckland and watch Pukekohe for D1NZ Round 3.
Don't forget to grab your tickets, of course, for Pukekohe, or if you're from Gisborne, keep your eyes out for the tickets for Gisborne. And also don't forget about Bay Park coming up. So here it is, the coronation lap for your round 2 champion, Braden the Nightmare, Braden Mayer. You. So you are just watching the young man from Omokoroa, just out of Tauranga, the metal fabricator. I believe he's a metal fabricator, or he might be quantity surveyor. He's one or the other, but Braden Mayer is now a champion of D1NZ in the Pro Series. So he has just coronated himself, just doing a little bit of a celebratory rolling burnout out through the section there. He'll drive himself back around, and he will be presented with his first ever round silverware, followed by some champagne showers. we're going straight to Stephen McIvor to take over for the podium celebrations.
I just want to check if he's still shaking, because the last 2 times he was shaking and nervous and excited. Congratulations on your first pro title.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's pretty surreal. Doesn't feel real at all, but yeah, obviously got it done. Not the way I wanted to in the final. Obviously, Connor, I wanted to battle Connor, tried to battle, but yeah, I'll take it.
Well, mate, get up there, because we're going to do the podium, the 10 Tools podium, and you will be crowned round 2 winner, of course, here in Teretonga and Southland. Alrighty, so here it is, the official podium for round 2 of the D1NZ Championship in Teretonga. Trophies today presented by my co-mate in Joe Maulder. And in 3rd position, give it up for yesterday's round winner, Dave Steedman. And P2 seems to be something that Connor Halligan likes. He is P2. Give it up for Connor Halligan. And for the very first time, he stands on the top set with his first pro round win. You know him, you love him, it's the Nightmare, Braden Mayer. And that is your official podium for round 2 of the D1NZ National Championship. Gentlemen, hold those trophies up high. Yeah, I know what you want to do. Now you can put them down and spray some champagne. Okay, just quickly, we'll just get one final thought. Keep that out of my way, Steedman. Congratulations, big round for you. Going into Pukekohe, you must be pumped.
Oh, so pumped. Pukekohe, oh man. I still have no words for Pukekohe, you know. 200 Ks, bring it on.
That's all we'll talk about. Whip over here to Connor. Connor, water pressure issues in those last 2 battles, right? That cost you.
Yeah, that's all right. That's the way it goes. Unfortunately, it's racing, but no, we're happy another second. So it's been a good weekend, all in all. It's been a bit of a battle for us, but hey, on the podium twice, so we're happy. So yeah, hey, just want to say a huge thank you to Hog Haulage, Burger Fuel, Link ECU, Fine Line Painting, Henson & Murray Engines, and yeah, everyone that helps us out, the crew, you know, yeah, wicked.
The great thing about drifting is it's one big village. They look after each other. And just finally, how does a wet champagne suit feel being on the top step?
Oh, it feels beautiful.
Yeah. And now you're going to think about Pukekohe. Are you excited about that one?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Car's feeling sharp, should be ready, and ready to take another one at Pukekohe.
Mate, you put on a great show. Congratulations on your first top step.
Thank you, and I'd just like to thank Mum and Dad at the Authentic Honey Co., Moon Civil and Drainage, Peterson Shutter Trimming, Fastlane Spares, Dre Sprays, Jeff's for the fiberglassing, and JT Performance.
Nice work. We'll see you at Puke.
You will.
And that's how we wrap up round number 2 of the D1NZ National Championship here at Teretonga. Okay, Joe, what did you make of the weekend?
It has been phenomenal. Obviously, a lot of pressure on these cars doing 2 rounds back to back. We've had some upsets. Some of the top tier guys, Ben Jenkins, Luke Fink, and I've forgotten the 3rd one, but going out in the top 16, which is uncharacteristic. So it's really going to show change up for the points leading into the next round.
And just think about this. Today, we saw 2 young men on the top step for the first time in Pro Sport, Riley McEwen and then Braden Mayer. What a way to finish off the weekend. On behalf of all the hard-working team, all the drifters, all their crews, all the volunteers to do such a good job, put it in your diary. Valentine's weekend 2026, we're going to do our final drift at the magnificent Pukekohe, the fastest drift corner in the world, and we will bring it to you on D1NZ. See you there.